Infernal. I definitely don't do it to Jamie. I do it to Chris, because I need to fight back up against the system somehow.
You do that enough as players.
Exactly. And I'll keep doing it, damn it.
Hello, world.
So all I'm getting here is this is Sam's flirting.
Yes. I have a massive crush on both Harlan and Chris, and I want us to have a ridiculous threesome together. Hi, stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do say hi, world.
See, Chris, you know the only reason I said that is because we're on stream. I heard you say hello, world.
But you say that
You
off
wish.
stream as well.
Actually, I think I don't. Although there is no proof to the contrary, but you did make the accusation, so
I mean,
you've
there
got
was
to find the
that
proof.
one time when you were drunk at Matt and Tom's.
What one time? There's been numerous times.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the time that you did that spiel exactly.
No, fair enough.
So
I was drunk, I don't
deep
remember.
down inside.
And now I warn you, I am on my third cider, but the last two were drunk at 5 o'clock, so it should actually be fine.
I'm on my first tango. Anyway,
Oh, the
Oh,
raving
hitting the hard stuff.
I'm hitting the hard stuff. There we go.
Jeez.
All right. So, hello
look,
everybody.
Can
Welcome
I
to Crabby
just say,
D&D. I am here with my players. No Sudz, unfortunately. He's not here yet. Harlan,
hello.
Sam,
Sure, hi.
Simon,
Hello.
Jamie,
Hi.
and Infernal.
Hello.
Usual stuff. Thank us notice for all the art. We've got some new things in. Some new tools. Which may or may not include a particular tile I may or may not be looking forward to using at some point in the future.
That's a
You
night
scared?
walker. Is that a night walker?
I already have them.
That's worse.
I already-
That's worse.
I mean, I already have the Nightwalker tile, so don't worry about that.
And that's
Um,
a really cool night walker. Yes. That
Yeah.
thing. I don't know that thing.
The skin scribe.
Scribe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a tattoo artist, isn't it?
Do you remember the character that you found that was as part of the Ascension process? Or the Trials of Ascension, when you made your way up to the... when you went to be graduated?
Chris, you know I don't remember shit.
Back in Oromance Ravine?
Okay.
Fairy Room, ascending the tower.
To be fair, I blocked most of Romance Ravine out of my memory.
You may also have not been
Oh
there for
yes,
that
no,
one.
I vaguely remember. Yes.
Yeah.
The offspring of the Prince of Blood. The protege of the Prince of Blood.
It's his
the
it's his- stabby
Apprentice.
baby.
Yeah.
the apprentice of the Prince of Blood, yes.
That's it.
Who has since become almost nearly, if not more powerful.
Glorious, isn't it?
Woohoo.
Well, that's just terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Hi.
So yes, thank you to Sasha for all the artwork for that. Any combat maps are made on Dungeon Peter Studio. We are playing this on Tabletop Simulator, and more detailed maps like this one are made on Incarnate.com. And also thank you to Tabletop Audio for the free sound and music you otherwise provide, allowing me to make this D&D what it is. Alright. I don't have anything else to say, so let's begin. Last session, our party of adventurers. Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern, and Rook had made their way, or had finished up in Golodon, with the festival drawing to a close, and then proceeding to get any tattoos, or speaking to various individuals about creating spells, or otherwise acquiring mounts, pets, and books of interest. The party left, making their way to Rust Town. Along the road they travelled, and on the way a caravaneer of who they otherwise did not ask who or why, but the individual picked them up as the party travelled along the road, making their way northeasterly towards Rust Town. Over the next 3 to 4 days, the party was travelling along the road, reading their books and doing a little bit of development on various spells, as the party reached Rust Town. Going into town, they found a wonderful and beautiful bakery, where they proceeded to buy various things like flatbread, donuts, and other sweet treats to for themselves, as they moved on, making their way towards the Steel Blacksmith, area of rather small origin, Church of Steel, but the location of Rook's pilgrimage. Arriving several weeks before they'd expected him, he spoke to one leader of this very small group of the Church of Steel's presence here in Rusttown. As they spoke and conversed, it began to rain outside, and with not much for the party to do, they decided the next steps of their adventure would lead them to the town of Numperbud, Bern's home stomping grounds. But before they did so, they reconvened with one Lisan Silt, Rook's grandfather's old party member, who otherwise, as far as they are aware, is the only surviving member of the party. With him conversing with Lisanne before she carried on with her work in the bakery, the party teleported out of there via the teleportation spell. With a little bit of a off hit, shall we say, of the town, on target but not quite where they wanted to be, the party arrived on the outskirts of town, being a little ways out, and they could see the town in sight, about half a day to a day's worth of travel. Turning into balls of cloud, they travelled along the landscape, over the fields and the orchards that surround Numperbud. As you see before you, the relatively large town, borderline city of Numperbud. You see it in the distance, the sounds of commerce and other individuals going about their daily lives. As you make your way through the fields, as you previously said. The outskirts of the city are surrounded by a large wooden palisade that runs all the way round, bar a few out-of-town barns or farmhouses where individuals otherwise reside and live closer to the crops and fields that surround the entirety of Numperbud. With the entire town being situated on a hill, you can see that the interior of the buildings do crest over the top of the palisade wall themselves, made from a brick, mortar, and otherwise minor timber buildings. No stone, what you can tell. As you approach one of the main gates surrounding the main palisade of Numperbud, you can see that it is armed with 4 guards, 2 on the ramparts themselves, who otherwise are armed with crossbows, and the 2 on the lower ground, who otherwise stand guard with spears and shields in hand. Rudimentary armor, nothing particularly major, no chainmail, no plate. Looks like to be a little bit more of a furs and hide. A little bit of a more militia-style guard, garrison here. You otherwise approach the individuals, noting your approach from the fields as you wander up through the freshly budding wheat as you push it aside and move forward. As you make it towards the edge of the gate, one of the individuals on the guards kind of notes you and puts a hand up. Stop! What is your purpose here in town?
Passing through.
Where have you come from, walking through the fields like that?
1 second, I'm chewing on something. Yes, a teleportation gone a bit wrong. We sincerely apologise.
He kind of looks at you, looks at the rest of the party. You note that all of the guards here are human, as they otherwise look across your group, with only 1 human among your party.
Well,
You get the general sense that they're distrusting.
We merely wish for an inn for the night and then just to pass right on through town.
He looks at you and how heavily geared you are. You get the sense he's getting the understanding that him and his guards probably couldn't take you. There's
No,
not a chance that they
good.
could.
Good to know.
we could murder guys. We could rule this town like gods.
Oh,
Angry gods.
it would be glorious.
You're going to become chaos, Sam.
Chris,
You'd be
I'm
defying
playing
the Emperor's
Elsyan.
will.
You know full well if Elsyan was at 40k, he would fall to Zinch like that. Like,
Yeah. He's Magnus.
no,
Oh,
no.
God.
Magnus thought he was doing good things for everyone else. Elsyan knows he's not, so he's probably more. I would be Erebus. Shit. The smug bastard. And if you don't know where Abyss is, just type in smug bastard and smug bastard 40k, and you're there.
Glorious.
Sasha,
Hmm?
need to warn you, they worship Motal in here.
All right.
Keep your Tehran down low.
If I must, but I will say this: if anyone so much as says a bad word about my dear goddess, I will be forced to turn them into a smear upon the pavement.
Sasha,
That would be a mistake.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go well.
because we would leave you to the guards, and you know that I'm not bluffing. You could probably kill a few of them, but you can't kill them all. Now, I've just realised that we are talking currently in front of some guards.
Ah,
About killing
who
the
are
guard.
looking very disconcerted, but they understand. The head guard just looks over you all and goes, "Well, we'll need to search you all anyway. Make sure none of you are carrying anything you shouldn't be."
Okay, just checking.
Okay, sorry. Can I ask what precisely that counts as? Because we're carrying a lot of weird shit.
Anything that's otherwise classed as
Elsyan
illegal.
slapped his
to-
face.
Anything that would be illegal within the Empire.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, that's most of our stuff is fine. Most.
Most of it, yes.
Elsyan is successful about his spoopy flute. Is that legal? I haven't checked. I haven't asked anyone. No one said I can't use it.
It's not illegal,
So,
I don't think.
none of you are resisting this?
No.
No.
As long as I haven't got a problem with my skull collection, I don't
Is
mind
there
too much.
is there anything
Okay.
that you might have which would be considered suspicious?
Well, heads, I suppose, could be a problem.
The heads they don't take too much notice to. You get a general
good.
sense that they've seen bounty hunters before. So
I mean,
collecting
my
skulls
bone
doesn't happen.
staff, maybe.
Even that is just like.
It's just a staff
Yeah.
of verification. It's like walking around. I suppose it's like walking around with a wand of polymorph. That's just stick with a frog tied to the end of it.
Bunch of empty vials.
I mean, they're not going to recognise
Oh.
things like Nightmaker, are they?
No.
The only
Or
thing
lighthouse.
I'm mildly concerned about on my end is the fact I'm carrying a single boiled egg.
Why?
Oh God, yes.
Can I offer you an egg in this try?
Oh, right. I forgot
Yeah.
you bought that.
Oh.
It's
Okay,
starting to
I'm
smell.
carrying
It's a little bit green.
Okay, I'm carrying something. But that something is just www, because presumably I press forward to move the camera, but my button was still on the spreadsheet.
I've done that all the time. I found a couple of things that are
I'm
like
so glad it's not just me.
my
I
comic
delete
strikers.
stuff. I delete stuff.
Oh, the description for them is R. Obviously, where I was desperately trying to roll and it wasn't working, I couldn't understand. Like, what have I done?
Well, guess I'll find out what they are when I remember I had a thing.
I chose it.
Not if it was a previous session.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
glorious.
So, the people that they're going to distrust most out of you lot, Bern, you're let through without a hitch. You're minorly searched, but that's about all. Rook, you are searched quite thoroughly.
Oh.
Malcom is
How thorough is
How-
thorough?
Malcom is
Go
also...
into detail.
They're going... Patting him down, that would be fair enough. Going into his pouch, asking him to take out everything, list it, label it, what does it do. They're thorough with him. They make sure that everything that he's doing, they are checking to see if he's telling the truth. They're making sure that he's not saying anything's out of place. They're questioning everything, even things that look minorly suspicious. Elsyan, they do the same with you, as you were the one speaking up.
Well, yes.
And they do the same, and actually no, just be you two that they do that with. So I'm going to quickly search your inventories.
Motherfucker. Racist.
Racists.
Well, you know.
I'm surprised they're not a bit racist against me, considering what I just said, but okay.
Well, you know. They might not know who a Turan is, and dwarves live nearby to Numperbud, so...
Yeah, you live quite nearby, and if they did know, they'd probably to do anything stupid to a dwarf, because then the other dwarfs might get annoyed. And then I'd have a war with dwarves, and
Hang on,
dwarves don't
just-
do warfare.
Just me and Elson got checked.
No, everybody got checked. It's just I'm looking through your inventory to see if there's anything dangerous.
Well, I mean,
That's-
no.
Unless you're planning to arrest me for Shishkri-approved clothing, Chris.
No.
Or my
It's some very nice clothing.
dragon
Almost
chest
too
set, which I
nice.
realise isn't actually... Maybe that's what that was.
No, Rook, you're fine.
I should hope so.
And Elsyan...
You can see what I've done. And yes, I need to put the weights for most of my stuff in.
It's fine, it's not like you're only 40 pounds off your maximum.
Oh,
I'm going
fuck!
through it. So I'm going through his inventory, clicking W on everything that's illegal.
Okay.
I might as well sell that umbrella at some point.
Okay, investigating your stuff, they take the umbrella. And they get
Okay.
a look at it. As they find the concealed blade in the umbrella itself, which is part of the cane. If you remember, you bought that a while ago.
Yes, I'm aware of what it is, Chris. Now, are you going to arrest me for the fact that my sword has a scabbard that just merely has an extra purpose?
Roll me
Don't make me roll charisma, Chris, please.
Roll me a persuasion.
Ah, fuck!
At least you're proficient in it, I think.
Actually, you're right. I am proficient in it. This can't go wrong. 18.
Okay.
I feel like I'm good, but I'm worried. Natural.
Oh, flippin'
Natural
heck.
20. The
Okay.
guard...
Doesn't have conversation. This is what.
It wasn't the first roll of the session, but yeah.
That's not how conversations work.
I know it's not how the session works. You
But still.
otherwise mentioned to him about that. He looks at it and goes,
Can at least get it back when I leave town.
He looks around the rest of you lot. The rest of you are all armed, very dangerous. He looks at you, who's probably not the most bulkiest of figures with a
to be
cane,
quite fair,
with a
I
sword.
look the least intimidating. He doesn't know about all the hidden knives.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Okay.
so what is he taking from you?
He's
My
not
umbrella
taking-
sword.
He's not taking anything, as he looks it over and tells the others, search him for any more blades. If he has any, confiscate them off of him.
Okay, just give me a second. Just have a tray out in front of me. I'll get them all out, and then just pulling knives out. And...
Alright.
They're just for self-defense. I don't even use them. That one I have never seen in my life.
They pull out several blades which you were informed of, but otherwise you remember they were being there, but you've never used them before.
I've never even looked at most of them.
As each of them gets taken away, there's eventually a point where they just go, take his coat for now. And then
Oh, come
examine it
on!
later. They take your Shishkri approved clothing.
No, this is clothing. This is clothing. You can feel for.
All of the blades in it.
We'll return it to you after you've left town. The blades that are hidden within the cloak itself will be removed. You may keep the umbrella sword.
Okay, are daggers illegal?
Depends
On what?
who's carrying them.
Now, sir, that is just
Is that
pure...
so?
Okay. Are you certain you want to do this, little man?
These blades, he holds up a very thin blade, meant to be concealed, meant to be used for stabbing someone in the neck when they're not looking. This is a blade meant and made for assassination. This is very different from, say, a kitchen knife.
You are very correct. It's a personal defense weapon. As you can see, its stiletto shape is very good for getting through armor, like my friend here.
Hello.
Carrying concealed weaponry imposes a small amount of threat. We will take these off of you. You may keep the umbrella sword. Your clothing will be returned to you when you leave town.
could take the knife. Just give me my coat. I'm cold.
You are cold indeed. Actually, no,
Naked
the
Elsyan.
opposite. Going from the colder climate of the north, now having your coat removed, it's actually rather warm. Pleasantly warm, not too bad, but you're starting to sweat a bit.
I'm gonna change my psychic focus so I'm resistant to fire. So I'm gonna play that in my mind. That's me.
It helps, but going through any particularly dangerous scenario involving weather,
I mean,
you might not be so good.
Chris, I want to make this clear. I don't actually care about the knives. It's the principle. I will never use them, but they are mine.
Well,
I'll never say never.
you won't be getting them back, so.
Well,
They're my knives. I
You could
paid
take
for
them
them.
by force.
I paid for them legally by a shifty clothes dealer.
Yeah. He also takes your mask
No,
and has a look over it, as it is a plain white mask. You're now starting to put together that Elsyan surprisingly looks very similar to that of a regular assassin, having a thing to conceal his face, having hidden blades, having concealed weapons.
Okay, that has a protection much
Okay.
like this ring does. It's genuine protection. I'm a squishy man, okay? I need the mask.
Look, we're an
That's-
adventuring party. Removing our weapons is generally seen as a bad thing to us.
While you're
At
in
the
town,
very
you'll be safe.
least,
Okay.
can you let the man have his coat back once you've searched it properly?
He's got okay. They're going to give me the coat back, but I'm making this very clear to you. The knives, I'll be honest, I don't care about. You take that mask, you take any other item from me, however, and you will live to regret it. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but one day I will be back here, and I will end this little town. Do you understand me, little man? Do you understand me, little man?
Make me an intimidation check.
Oh, fuck.
Oh god.
I am. Oh, this is the dwarf all over again, isn't it? Shit, I've done it again.
We're gonna end up in a full-on battle here.
Come on, Sam.
So-
Intimidation
so-
check. Let's go.
Bern, how much of your town do you like? It might go south fast.
Okay. Right.
Can I provide advantage to him by looking threatening?
You want to assist?
Yeah, I think
want
I'll
to
join in.
assist.
Oh, I want to join
Oh,
in with
thank
that
God.
one.
Okay. Advantage.
Just be-
I want everyone to know I've got a. Okay, that's an 11.
An 11. Oh. I'll quickly look up some stats.
I'm just gonna say, if these guys start attacking him, their lives are forfeit. My apologies, but as much as they were rude, okay, and they're kind of racist.
Right,
Isn't this
seriously,
meant to be a
if
good
Bern had
party?
this coat, they would leave him alone.
Very
And
sure
quite
they would.
frankly,
You got an 11?
I got an 11.
Glasses. No. Okay.
Just
So-
gonna check this out. We can talk right now.
Yeah. What did you say?
Bear in mind, I am a noble.
Okay. As Bern can't speak right now because family is in his harem.
Mm-hmm.
As you're saying this, and Sasha, as you and Rook are kind of muscling up, Elsyan, you feel a very hard slap across the back of your head as
Ow.
Bern steps in front of you and otherwise bows and apologizes to them. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check, please, Bern, against Elsyan. Total?
21.
Go ahead and
Oh,
roll me a
come
wisdom
on.
saving throw, please, Elsyan.
Elsyan is not scared of Bern. Ever. Ever!
Yeah, that's it. That worked well.
Okay.
Oh.
Elsyan, given
So-
you won the toss, do you wish to back down from this intimidation check?
From the first one,
For the first one, keep in mind that Bern will be hampering your score slightly. It's up to you. You can either stick with it, and you can go, I'm going to keep my word in terms of the intimidation, or alternatively, you can let Bern take it from here, in which case I'm going to need to have Bern do a roll.
Fine, Bern. Whatever you say. Fine. But you ever do that again, I will make your brain come out through your ears. Just saying. And Elsyan steps away.
Bern, please make me a persuasion check with disadvantage, given the nature of the intimidation prior. So we versus the same DC.
Yeah, you couldn't even get that right. So. I'm meant to be successful.
Luckying it.
Oddly fitting.
Oh no. Pick a different dice.
So you have 7 or 5. Which one would you like to take with your plus from persuasion?
Do you want to use another lucky?
Isn't that all of them?
Oh,
Wait, shit, did you use all of them?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
What's the total?
12.
12? Okay, one higher than Elsyan. Which mattered, because he rolled an 11 on his wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as he releases his grip a little bit less from the tightly from around his spear. You see that his left hand was quivering next to a war horn, which he was getting ready to otherwise blow. You get the sense that, as much as he wouldn't have taken you, he would have at least gone down by marking you all in some way. As he looks at you, Bern, he kind of goes, "Thank you. We'll keep the blades, we'll return the cloak when we can." He passes the mask to you, Bern. And would you like to return it to Elsyan?
Yeah.
Pass it back to Elsyan.
Thank you. Elsyan accept it. No, he doesn't accept it using telekinesis. He's smarter than that.
Okay. The only thing which you need to note is your Shishkri clothing is currently taken away from you until you leave town, and you no longer have any concealed blades with the exception of your umbrella blade, which is going to be rusted, meaning disadvantage on all attack rolls you make.
What? It's going to be rusted?
Yeah, so that it locks into the scabbard. You can pull it out with force, but it will disadvantage to attack rolls.
What? No, why is it rusted?
They're going to rust it.
What? Oh, come on. No, that's just damaging my property. That's bullshit.
I'll fix it. We have 2 blacksmiths.
What the
I
thing
don't
is,
care.
they can.
I don't care.
Okay. You don't want it back? You get an umbrella without a handle.
No. I want my sword back in the condition I gave it to them in.
I just looked up and checked.
I can melt their brains. Just let me. Okay, I'm calm.
Calm.
Calm. I'm fine. Warning stands that blade isn't how it left it.
The guards look at you and go, "If you're passing through, we'll see you. We'll see you at the gate tomorrow." And they move aside, letting you through the gate.
Could have just walked around town. Could have just camped at that field, but no.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult to imagine that could have gone any worse. But
It could have done. It could have done.
let's
I
just
could have murdered them.
let's just head to the tavern and keep.
No,
our
no.
You know that thing I was saying earlier? How are you feeling about that now?
What thing was that, Sasha?
You know that if anyone says anything bad about my goddess,
Sasha, I will be right there with you.
I'm glad to hear it.
That's
Right.
my
Let's
stuff.
find somewhere
I'm
to
not-
lay down for the night. Have a nice calm down.
Okay.
And be on our way as quickly as fucking possible.
Okay. With it peeking into the early hours of the afternoon, being about maybe 3-4 o'clock, you're not entirely sure. You look around for a place to sleep.
I take it to. Which one's the best one? Wait.
I don't believe you had the taverns.
Oh, the tavern, no, yeah.
You never really stayed in them, so not entirely sure.
I'll take them to the second one. The King and the Flame.
Okay. Looking around town and travelling through, you can see that the town itself is otherwise mostly made up of a kind of mud brick and otherwise mortar style road here. It is not stone, and looking around there isn't any form of stone used in any of the architecture or the building work here. It is mostly wood and mud bricks. You travel up the main path and heading off a little way from the centre of town. You finally reach what looks to be a large timber building with a signpost hanging out the front of it of a crown and flail. As you reach the king and the flail. Heading inside, you can hear the commotions of of individuals otherwise chatting and speaking to one another and enjoying general conversation. As you move into the building, you can see the various individuals in here of human, dragonborn, and dwarven, otherwise talking, discussing, and singing with one another at this midday time. Just get the correct note here. Right. You see
how this town is being wiped off the map.
You looking in, you can see there is an open fire that is otherwise roaring and crackling. There seems to be individuals otherwise cooking a spit roast on it of some kind with what looks to be a whole pig currently being turned, and bits of it are being slowly pulled off and used as it seems to be some form of hog roast. You can see there are plenty of individuals otherwise sat around eating and drinking, talking to one another, and just generally enjoying some event of whatever is going on. You see the innkeeper, a young male who otherwise stands there, and you watch as he casts a few simple spells, and you watch as mugs and plates that are otherwise being disused are brought to him, where he then proceeds to wash or clean them or put them on a tray for such an event. And the tavern itself seems to be in a rather strange L shape for this tavern, with the bar being straight in front of you, and there's a little bit down round to the right where it is otherwise mostly obscured from the bar itself, but individuals sit around talking and drinking. It's a little bit hard to find a seat, but if you're after food or drink, then you may try and find one if you wish.
Would you guys like to stay here for a while, or do you want me to take you around first?
Honestly, anywhere will be fine. I could do with just a chair will be fine for me.
They do have, like, hog roast. I mean, I want to try that. I need that. I need it.
I want my umbrella back.
Yes.
And my coat. I don't like this town.
Yeah, take it back.
Look, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that they took it in the first place. They took peasants took a nobleman's coat. That is not cricket.
The rest of us walk in armed to the fucking teeth. And they get him over some tiny little pig stickers.
Do they have anyone important in this important enough in this town to assassinate anyway?
And I have no idea.
Seriously, Bern, do they? You seem to know this place.
Somewhat.
Look, I'm just going to say, like, a mayor wouldn't do it. A lord, not here. Maybe a retired high judge or something.
Maybe.
If we want to
leading
assassinate
paladin
something.
Oh, no, there's a paladin in Mutalin Grace Chapel.
That'll do it. That would do it.
I'm sorry, have you tried killing a paladin? They're fucking bastards.
You have?
I had a life
This
before
presumably is why you would send the assassin.
That's a fair point. You send the assassin for while the unawares, not in that armor, and they're in that like half hour of sleep paladins decide to get because they've got to test
smell
themselves.
ill intent. Or something. I don't know, it's weird.
Depends on the type of paladin. Depends what oath they took. It's weird that the oath denotes how much power they have, or what type of power.
Well, I suppose it's sort of like aspects of their gods or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, not all paladins are inherently religious.
Well, yes,
Obviously,
but
most people
the,
support the gods
well,
in some manner or another, but
a religion maybe not, but faith most definitely.
indeed. But it is the fact that they swear an oath at all that lends them their power. It doesn't seem all that surprising that the type of oath would affect the type of power.
I
That's fair
suppose.
enough.
I mean, it's like the
That's right,
domain
well,
of Sasha
although I'm
chose.
still very disappointed that there isn't a no fuck oath.
Sasha,
Hmm?
why are you disappointed?
Well, I just feel like, really, if you're going to do the whole, oh, my devotion is unparalleled, I will.
Sasha, you are aware of the oath of devotion, right? It may not
I know.
specify it, but it's like implicit that you can't have a relationship. Because come on, you can't be devoted to two things at the same time. Apparently.
Does that mean you can't multi-class?
I think you're allowed to
What is that
multi-class.
class?
That's a point, actually. What do you mean by multi-class?
Sasha, roll me a d20, please.
Oh, I'm enjoying this.
Oh god.
1.
1. In that moment,
Oh
you
God.
watch as Sasha spaces out, her mind distant. As Sasha, for that brief moment, you see several individuals, creatures, gods of some kind, looking down across the table, rolling dice and talking, as you hear your own words spoken out in your mind. And in that moment, you forget everything. You forget everything that you were and you are, and you snap back to reality as if nothing had happened.
What? Oh, hello. What were
Okay.
we talking about?
You okay, Sasha? You mentioned something about multi-classing?
What the fuck's a multi-class?
That's
Well,
what
we
we
were
asked you.
confused as well.
Well, whatever it was. Drinks?
I think
That's
you've had
probably
enough.
a good idea right now.
No, I think I could do without the alcohol. I'll be honest.
Yeah, after the last week,
I could do without alcohol for a while.
I might look for a chair though, or some chairs, a table.
Looking around for a table, you look around, quite a lot of them are taken up, but there seems to be one kind of empty one with 2 seats over in one corner. No one seems to be using that table, but obviously it's too small for your entire party.
Well, I mean, we could always just send Elsyan to go and bully other people off chairs.
I'm not going to bully people off chairs. You'll be much better at that than I. You're bigger than me.
What if they steal your clothes? Then would you bully them off the chairs?
If they steal any more of my clothes, this town is going to die. I want to make that clear. That paladin can step out and I will murder him as well. AC does nothing against intelligence saving throws.
Elsyan.
I have no idea what you
D20
just said to
roll.
me.
Nope. With your passive perception, you pick up that 3 individuals who are otherwise Dragonborn, who are sat relatively near to where you're talking in the tavern. They've been noting your conversation regarding the talk of killing a paladin. At which point you note that they are sat there precariously listening. They don't seem to be aware that you've noticed them.
Oh my god,
And-
Elsyan, don't say that sort of thing. That's why we get stabbed in parking lots a lot. I don't
What's
know
a
what I just said
parking
again.
lot?
I don't
Park
know,
your
okay?
car! There
Look,
was
I mean,
literally
yeah.
a
You're
parking
right,
lot in
Sasha.
the previous town you were in.
Yes!
Look,
it's
the
where
height.
you
Okay,
park
right,
your
fine.
car.
Fine. Okay.
do you
It's
wanna
been a
sit
long
down?
day. I want to sleep. I want to leave this town. And oh, God, just 1 second. You're not being subtle. Don't
saying that
worry.
aiming at them?
Yes. It's embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for you. My name.
Okay. At this moment, you hear that individuals have stopped singing and kind of watching as they're watching this ruckus you're creating.
Oh, boo fucking hope. I need to stop drinking. 1 second. For my cider out. Okay, yes.
Okay. Do the rest of us now notice these people have been listening?
Oh yeah. At this point, everybody in the tavern is listening to you all because Elsyan's just caused a ruckus with these 3 Dragonborn.
Can you guys just shut the fuck up?
No. And don't tell me to shut the fuck up again. I would do as I
Okay.
please.
Okay, Elsyan, just give me a moment. I turn to
Fuck.
Dragonborn. We've all had a very trying day. As such, we're all a little bit stressed. And this town being somewhat
Racist.
less than pleasant to those who are unfamiliar with them
Racist.
has made my friend here a little cranky. We're not going to hurt anyone or do anything unpleasant. We just want to sleep for the night, wake up in the morning,
And leave.
and leave. So, I'm going to find a room. And then we're all going to just go the fuck to sleep. Is that alright with everyone?
What's the time?
3 o'clock in the afternoon. Ish.
It's fucking bedtime, is what it is.
I don't want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Rook, I will put you to sleep myself, and you know I'm not gentle.
Well, fuck me.
If in case you can't tell, Elsyan's really pissed off that they took his coat and umbrella and his knives. Fucking peasants.
Do you want a seat? Do you want a chair? I've seen a chair. You can come sit down over in the corner.
Just sit down.
Right.
Just
I'm going to order a room for the night so that when we do want to go to bed, we can go to bed. And then we don't have to think about it. We can just go to sleep. We can leave in the morning and not have to deal with any of this shit. All right?
Okay. Alright.
The
Lovely.
human who's behind the bar goes, "If you're looking for rooms, I can sort something out. Just don't cause
Wonderful.
any trouble, please."
that would be
Absolutely not.
wonderful. I
Thank you.
Elsyan has realised that he has committed a cardinal sin of nobility, and that's causing a scene. It has just hit him. I am terribly sorry. I did not mean to be rude, as my friend said. Trying day. Very trying. And it's only 3 o'clock. Can't wait to see what other shit this day has for us. What's next? Zombies attack?
Who was approaching the main bar to speak to the
I am
innkeeper?
approaching the bar.
Elsyan is putting himself as far away from other people as possible.
So
In
into
the room.
corner.
Okay, so standing where you currently are, then at the front of the entrance to the building.
Okay,
'cause-
you know what I mean. Elsyan sits himself like away, just a bit secluded from other people.
Okay, there's only
know,
one
like,
table and
but-
chair that's available, and that's
This
kind
table's
there
in the
are-
corner.
There are some next to it, but there are some in the corner that are away from most people.
So-
Fine.
Going up to the barkeep. Right. Rooms. How much?
Interim standard stuff, 6 gold pieces or 6 silver pieces per person. But names? What a name.
Put it onto the
Uh,
door, because
Just put it under the Dawn Seekers. Right.
Oh,
God. How many?
wait. So you're the Dawn Seekers.
yeah,
Yes.
fuck, we've got a fan.
Yes, we are the Dawn Seekers. God. Look, this has ended.
You should
one
probably
of
lead
two
with
ways.
us when you're having trouble in town. Most people know you're here.
Really?
What?
I honestly thought people only knew about us in Adamantia.
Well, you know, we're kind of adjacent to Adamantia through the Enchanted Glade.
Oh, that is true. I hadn't really thought about that.
People at this point begin, like, where they were mostly staring at Elsyan for causing a scene, quite a lot of them just go, never mind. And they, like, turn their attention away and carry on with what they were doing.
Oh, it's those people. That makes sense.
Yeah. It seems that you have some form of reputation, given your high level and the things that you've done in town, including prevented an assassination twice, one of which may have resulted in the partial destruction of Adamanthia, change in leadership, and your name's come up multiple times. People know who you are.
In a good way, right? Like in a mostly good way.
You're not entirely sure. You've never done digging. This is the first you've really heard that your name's getting around.
You know what? You know what? Well, okay, no. Elsyan, sit down and pretending he's not.
Okay, look, sorry. What is known about us? I swear,
You're an adventuring
Sorry, this-
party, from what I've heard anyway. You're an adventuring party that have saved the city of Adamanthia twice, including one of their head leaders. You're in good favour with them. You own a tavern somewhere there. A few of your employees have come from down here. One of your lot is otherwise a little bit more used to the south. I'm going to assume points at Bern. That's him.
Yep.
And other than that, we've heard various things, like you've gone on mad adventures, ventured into the ravine, whatever that means. Gone into the mountains to search for something sacred.
Hellish place.
I have no idea. Somewhere, just a ravine. And that you've gone to various places. Honestly, it's just interesting to know that you're passing through. You should probably leave with that, though. People know who you are here.
Oh, right. Sorry, it's never really been a thing before. We've always just sort of been like, okay, look, we're an adventuring party, we're just trying to get through the day, because that's all we really are. I mean...
No, that's fair, we understand. But your name's gotten around a bit. It's gotten... I mean, we heard about you 2 months ago or so, and the various rumours keep coming through, so... People have a lot to say.
I'll keep that in mind. Sorry for the ruckus again.
It's fine.
Sorry.
How many beds per room? What's the best?
We have varying. Currently, all the larger rooms are taken up by the guests in town. Otherwise, there's two beds per room, so it'll be 4 rooms, 3 rooms to cover all of you.
All right. Okay. So what was that? I hand the man a platinum. That's like a considerable mass of money in comparison to what he's asking.
I assume you're wanting breakfast with that then?
That would be lovely.
Sounds good. He takes the platinum and pockets it. Well then, enjoy your stay. If you did have any previous problems with anybody, then I don't know, depending on what you've caused, because you've had a rough day, sounds like. Whatever problems you've caused, if it's in town, there's always somebody higher up you can talk to.
That's fair enough.
If we know who you are, then we're usually not going to be that... Most people will know you, and thus you should be in a good state, but...
Well, thank you very much for all your help. Have a lovely day. I'm going to go have myself a nice little drink.
Okay. What do they sell? Drink-wise, we have ale, perry, whiskey, rum. Oh, we got a lot of spirits here, apparently. As well as wines. Quite a lot of wines.
Okay, what's your best? What's your fanciest wine you've got? And get me a whiskey.
If you're after a full bottle, something more, like, let's see. He pulls out a small chart. We've used up some of the good stuff on the most recent event. We have some of our home brewed Volix. We have a few of the aged stuff. Probably maybe say about 10-15 years. A few of those in stock. For a full bottle it costs about 50 gold, but if you're after just a glass, I'd say it'd be about 5 gold.
All right then. Big glass of one of the older ones.
Okay. So that will be 5 gold for the big glass of that. Whiskey is in this town. Whiskey is 2 silver for a shot. Or no, glass.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll ask for a double.
Okay, so 4 silver.
Yep, wonderful. I'm going to take my whiskey, and I'm going to take the glass over to Elsyan, put it down in front of him, and just say, "Calming drink, aged 15 years. It can't be terrible."
That's how much I've aged in the past hour.
You're an elf,
Right,
doesn't mean
sorry.
much to you, does it?
True. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right.
But he took
None
my
of us
shit.
have been.
He took my shit.
I know. Makes you feel grumpy, doesn't it? Look, I'll have a word with them in the morning, see if we can't get this sorted out. For the moment, just drink up. Let's have a bit of a rest. And, Bern.
Well,
wait,
might
shit.
not be about he went
Infernal can't talk.
Well, he can.
Right.
He just had to be right back.
Okay. Well,
He didn't say
Quite
how
well.
long, but that was 3 minutes ago.
I'm telling to Queglod and said that 'cause she's the other vaguely competent adult. Queglod, I noticed him saying there were quite a few guests in town, and obviously it's quite busy in here.
Mhm.
I didn't. Is there something going on? Do you know, or? I mean, okay. What I'm basically saying is, would any of us know what is going on? That will
Sasha,
tell you why.
Sasha, why don't you ask the barkeep?
Because I've already asked him, and I'd feel weird going back up again.
I
Did
want
you
to
ask
go
him?
and get. the
Also,
hog
my
roast.
charisma is shit.
Did you ask him?
No.
No. What he's saying is he's already spoken to him.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not gonna be
Oh.
weird. Him
And now,
going down.
and
and
now
going,
I just
hey,
got
wait
a
a
drink,
minute.
so I got to at least wait until I finish my drink before I go
Okay.
up and ask him.
Well,
Of
I'm gonna
course,
go up
yes.
because I want a hog roast. So I'll ask what I got.
Okay, that works.
I'm gonna go get hog roast, and I'm gonna ask the barkeep what's going on.
Do you travel over to the hog roast, or do you travel to the barkeep?
I'm gonna go to the barkeep first, find out if I need to pay for it there. So
You travel over to the barkeep. He goes, "Oh, you're a tall fellow. What kind of drinks are you looking for?"
not so much a drink. Don't really fancy so much drink, but I want that hog roast. Like, do I pay for it here or over there?
I can see you'll have to wait till the scraps are over until they're finished with it. They're currently carving it for the event. So,
It's the event at the moment.
oh, we had a wedding.
A wedding.
Yes, 2 of our locals have gotten married. And well, it's been a while since they got engaged, and well, with all that's been going on with Adamantium or with the Empire going to war and difficulties like that, they thought it best to have it now. So we've had guests from out of town. That's why it's been busy here. So yes, it's been a wedding, and it's just an event that they decided to host here. So
Fair. Well, if there is any scrap or anything left over, please let me know. I really like.
oh, of course, anything's left over, probably it'll be a silver. I can't imagine it'll be much more.
Does the proceeds go to the newlyweds?
You want them
Assume
to?
it's- Okay, alright. Then I'm gonna give 50 gold and congratulations to the newlyweds.
Oh, don't give it to me. He kind of points over, and you see what looks to be a very well dressed, as you imagine to be the groom of a brass dragonborn, currently sat at one of the tables with his newlywed, a younger female human, in what looks to be. She's not in her wedding dress. She's in what looks to be a dress afterwards. It seems they probably already had the wedding. This is the reception. She's in a little bit more relaxed clothing, probably nothing too flamboyant. But she otherwise sits there. They're both kind of sat at their own table together. The tables and chairs have been arranged in different manners. You imagine there's a seating order, and there was just a few left over.
Okay.
As you see them.
Right. Then I will go over and approach him. Are we the Dawn Seekers or Dawn Marshals? I've got
We are
two
Dawn.
different things.
Okay. Like, we are Dawn Marshals. We go by the name Dawn Seekers as our like party name.
Right.
Because if we go around
okay.
calling ourselves Dawn Marshals, everyone will be like, "Hey, you're Dawn Marshals. Prove it." And I think we
Right.
just stab them when they say that. But now I have got no knives to stab people.
Oh god. Just hear Elsyan in my head screaming that. So, oh god. Jesus.
Calm.
Even in my head, Elsyan's angry.
Elsyan doesn't like being questioned by peasants. Okay.
He's still talking in my head. It's
I
confusing.
just don't like them.
Oh dear. I'm gonna approach what I'm assuming is the bridegroom. Oh.
Sorry, I just rolled for something. Sam, roll me a d20.
I timed out of the server. Roll a d20 for me.
7.
Oh dear.
That is one of the most suspicious things you've ever said, Kristen. You said some suspicious things.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so you approach the groom. As you approach it, you see that there are a bunch of individuals, friends around the tables, various individuals, some of the Dragonborn from earlier. As one of them kind of approaches you and goes, "Hey, is there anything I can help you? You're relaying it to the groom. Don't want to disturb him."
I just wanted to congratulate him on his recent hitching, so to say, and just give him some money and say if there's any scraps of the hog roast, I would happily be willing to take it.
Oh, you're more than welcome to have some if you're looking to, yes, give any wedding funds. Sure. What's your name?
I'm Rook, part of the Dawn Seekers, and this is just from the Dawn Seekers in general.
Yeah, we heard. The Dragonborn kind of reaches out his hand to clasp around your wrist. Strong fellow. Doesn't look like he's a particular fighter or warrior. Just looks strong and bulky.
Okay, well, okay, thank you.
He clasps your wrist, gives it a shake. He goes. He wanders over to another one of the Dragonborn individuals and goes, we've got some Thorn-Seeker individuals. They're looking to, well, they wanted to give you a gift, and if they'd have any of the hog roast, if that's allowed. The groom kind of looks up. I don't see why not. They're welcome. They're welcome to any of it if they want. As for gift, and thank you, we appreciate the offer, but unless you're serious about this, for now, just hand it to my best man. He'll take care of it for now.
Okay, fair dues. Well, congratulations on your wedding,
Thank you very much.
and thank you for the food. I'll give the 50 gold over.
He takes the 50 gold, and it's like a hefty small pouch as he takes it, and they otherwise gesture to the hog roast. It's otherwise being carved and bits are being passed out. You want to go and get yourself some?
100%.
You go over, you're handed some on a plate, you head back to the rest of the party as they're otherwise all huddled into a corner. The smell of the hog roast is absolutely wonderful. Placed between two buns, almost like a burger. You arrive with it to the table as the rest of your party is otherwise there. The rest of you, your mouths begin to salivate a bit. With the exception of yours, Elsyan, as you've kind of dipped into the wine of this area, it's dry but fruity. It is
Cheap stuff.
no. You expect it to be. With the combination of those being dry and fruity, you take a sip of it. Bland flavours. The Elven Kingdom does far greater. But then the flavour becomes more and more complex. And it becomes nicer and nicer. You can taste a lot of different flavors mixed in here. Not too much to riddle it and confuse the natural taste of it, but enough to have a sequence almost. It's been very well made.
That is some pretty good wine for somewhere out of the Elven Kingdoms. Did you get some from the tavern?
It's good to hear that you're enjoying something.
It's the only good thing in this fucking town. No, I didn't say that. Oh, I did out loud, didn't I? I said that out loud, didn't I?
You
Okay.
did. Just to let you know, the event that's going on, it's actually a wedding.
Oh, wonderful.
I gave them a gift from us.
What did you give them?
50 gold.
Oh, fair enough.
You know. Yeah.
Could give them the spoopy flute.
I really don't think you should do that.
Yeah, I know. I realised it was a dreadful idea the moment I said it.
Okay.
Did you happen to catch who was getting married?
I will point to the two that, like the groom and the bride that I saw. I'll point them out. Them two.
Oh.
I see. I wonder if the wedding is at all connected to the increased security. Or maybe they're just suspicious.
I think they're just racist.
There is a war on. They have reason to be.
Okay, but they don't have a war on with the Elven
Nervous.
Kingdoms. I'm sorry, Rook, but I have to say I understand. But
Maybe one of them were nobles, that's probably why.
Okay.
what was that?
Bern, Rook, Queglod. You don't notice this. Malcom, Elsyan, and Sasha, you do notice this. As a Dragonborn wanders in through the door, he wanders over to the table of three, and you hear him mutter, "Oof, I didn't know the bride and groom were going to be going home on a salamander."
Oh, no.
If you've parked your direwolf and salamander outside.
I'll let you deal with this, Sasha. If you want to deal with anything. Sasha? You're muted.
Deal with what?
Sasha.
Oh my
Oh.
god, I've been muted this entire time.
Yes, you have. You should stay.
Right. I'm going to just look over and say, "Oh, is my direwolf still good out there?"
The Dragonborn looks over. "Oh, they're yours! Ah, my apologies. Yeah, they're fine. Just hanging out. Enjoying a bit of a spectacle, but people are assuming it's to do with the wedding."
That's fair enough.
And what might your name be, sir?
Me? Gofric.
Gothwick.
Be nice, Elsyan.
I
I
am
whisper under my breath.
Going to be nice. Nice
You
to
watch
meet you.
as you watch as one of the Dragonborns who was otherwise sat at the table, the three who were suspicious of you, goes, "Yeah, Gofric yourself." The other one kind of hits him over the head as they all begin to laugh and drink together.
And sorry I didn't say this earlier, it's been a bit awkward. I apologise for how I acted earlier. I was a bit hungry. I hadn't had anything to drink for a while, and someone had taken my umbrella sword.
This may be cause and effect, but you did have elven flatbread today.
I don't know what you're on about. Elven flatbread is a perfectly healthy food. It does not cause mood swings at all.
Is this the point where we need to admit Elsyan might be becoming an alcoholic?
Okay, to be quite fair, since the start of this campaign, he's been hallucinating as butler. He's not all there and there.
Yeah, alright, I'll give you that. Can't argue it.
I can only sincerely apologise. My name is Elsyan.
One of them thinks for a moment. No harm, no foul. If the guards took something, if the guards have taken something from you, then they'll give it back to you when you leave town.
Yeah, but they're gonna rust my blade so it doesn't come out easily of the scabbard. That's also an umbrella. It's cool. But,
They may not. That'll take more than a day. If you're leaving tomorrow, then it should be fine.
I know some pretty industrious guards. And I also know that to break something, it's
Oh,
far
are you
easier
talking about that time in Crag Anvil? You almost died.
What are you talking about, Crag Anvil? I only went there yesterday. Or earlier today.
Oh, no, the first time.
I wasn't.
Oh, wait, shit, no, you weren't there!
What do you mean-
Oh, my
What
God.
do you mean the first time? Was someone else with you?
Sasha realizes.
Sorry, that was the other
What are you-
one. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
What
the one we
the-
replaced you
Set.
with.
What? You replaced me?
Well, just a token elf.
You were
Don't worry.
gone, I mean... What else were we supposed to do?
I was coming back.
Oh, he didn't know when. I hadn't even met you.
Is this that
You didn't-
friend
You
were
didn't
talking
even
about?
leave a note!
Yeah.
They're winding
did.
you up,
I left a
Elsyan.
note
We
with
didn't
some
replace
money.
you.
Oh, actually, you did do that. But shut up.
I'm-
I'm making fun of you.
I left money for the tavern and everything. Come on. Is this? Why would any of you tell me about this friend you got?
Don't do well.
He's a friend.
Okay, look. Okay, Elsyan, can you cover your ears for just a moment? I promise I'll
No.
get back to you. Please.
You remember, of course, that he can read our minds, right, Sasha?
You remember, of
Oh,
course,
God.
like that. Remember, of course, I can telepathically communicate with everybody here.
Okay.
Calm, deep breath, Sasha. Remember the exercises Farnsworth taught you. Fuck the poor.
Farnsworth.
Fuck the peasants.
Is that what Farnsworth tells you?
Kill the commoners. Oh, that last one was not Farnsworth. That was my mother.
Oh, right.
Elsyan's eyes is open. Elsyan's eyes is open.
Everyone else. I feel bad. Can we just tell him?
No.
No.
Okay. I tried, Elsyan. I tried.
Gets the skull out. Said, no.
Whose skull is that? You've had it for a while.
No.
I'm so confused.
It's just a gift from a friend.
I have the power to force you to tell me the truth.
You've
just
tried
don't-
that twice now,
I know, and
but I
I'm going
told
to...
you do it again. I'm going to punch you in the face.
You know what? I've got a mask now. It probably wouldn't hurt as much.
Looks at mask. Looks
Okay,
at gauntlets.
okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Elsyan,
It's magical.
use your mind trickery on me. Make me tell the truth.
No. It's so fun when you do it willingly. Oh shit! Just realised how that sounded.
Elsyan, do we need to take you to a therapist?
No.
He'd break the therapist.
I mean, that's true.
No, I just need to be living in fancy palaces again and getting people to serve me stuff whenever I want it and to not want for a thing. But you know what? That's never going to happen unless I take over the Elven Kingdoms. Or Kingdom.
Look.
My
Your mother,
fucking-
whilst she is a bitch. Question: if you actually did beat your mother, would that technically make you a king?
No, because she technically isn't in charge, but in all actuality she is.
Oh, it's one of those ones.
Yes, she's the puppet master, the guy in charge of the puppets.
Oh, how are elves so complicated?
I really wish they were simpler like the dwarves. No, even dwarves aren't simple. I wish they were simpler like the humans.
Really want to say that here?
Yes, fine. Look, things make more sense for the humans, okay? It makes a bit more sense. Not a lot, but you know what? It's better than all the evil, conniving, Machiavellian elves stab each other in the back. I mean, you know what house I'm from? I'm from the House of Shadows. I think. Am I from the house? Yes. Yes. No. I just went in, just looked through. How do I not? Yes. Oh, Shadow House of. I'm from the Shadow Stem House. You know, that's where they put all the evil people. And I don't want to be that anymore.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay.
Hopefully, less kids will get kicked now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for promising not to kick me. What a wonderful present you've given to me.
Look,
I'm
look.
sorry.
Tell you what. Look, your mother is, in a certain sense, in charge. And at the very least, you'd be some form of lord, I imagine. Unless your dad's still alive.
Oh, he is.
That poor bastard, by the way.
He's he probably doesn't know what's going on. And I'll be honest, I'm more annoyed with my mother for backing out of the deal we made than for a lot of the other shit.
I mean, not all of it, because I mean,
don't
the whole
know if
mind,
he's
Not all of it,
mind fucking.
I
So
don't know
was
if
that
he's
Chris?
alive, Sam.
Yes, I do believe he. I mean, my mother's pregnant with.
A child. You do know there are other elves in the world other than just you and your mother and father.
Whoa, hang on!
No,
Don't
no,
say
no,
that. You're
no.
gonna break poor Elsyan.
Mummy is a whore.
Okay, I didn't mean it.
Don't say this. He's already angry.
Because I do believe you actually have shown me my father alive.
Yes, I know.
I know that it is my father. It was when I was doing with my shard sensors. He was there.
Your father was the one who housed your mother's child. You don't know whether he's alive at the moment.
Oh, right this second, no. He might have killed him eventually. But as far as I know, he's still alive. The bitch didn't even finish her part of the deal.
Okay.
Well, enough of this existential dread. We should probably figure out what people know about us.
Well, yeah, I didn't ask that. All I just found out
Oh,
was it was a wedding.
I asked. I relate to them what the barkeep said to me.
Ah, that's good to know.
Yes, yes.
At least it's
actually,
not
that's a
bad.
point.
Is this a mobile version of Rainbow?
Elsyan, could you do your checking on what we on what's nearby? The shard. Could you do that?
Fine, just give me a moment.
He watches out and
Shard
sits there
sense.
and concentrates for a moment before he blurts out shard sense. It doesn't matter, but he does it anyway.
All my characters shout out what they're doing anime style.
Yeah.
All of them do.
Eldritch
makes no
Blast.
difference.
I'm still deeply amused by the
joke.
fact that you yelled, "Mending!"
Yes. My character in Harlan's campaign yells, "Mending! Mending! Mending!"
For a minute, as that's the cast.
Oh my god.
No. He does it at the beginning. He does it about halfway through and does it at the end. He's got a throat. Sam's got a throat to maintain.
So, as you do your shard sense, kind of picking up on where it
Shard
might be, it is otherwise directly east of here. Around the area of Tower Keen, it has closed in around Tower Keen a lot closer. But a little bit more north of it. Just a bit.
Do you reckon it's that little cave?
Hmm.
That we can't see.
So
Around
Just-
Tower Keen and slightly above it. So around this.
So it's
Um,
looking at the map. All I can really tell is going. It's definitely that cave.
Yeah. By the way, that is
Yeah.
that is on your map.
all
Yeah.
right.
It's just
Excellent.
they didn't have the tile for it then. That's a door, not a cave.
Okay.
It's just they didn't have the tile for it just yet.
If I remember the original law correctly, that was actually was that the one that was a mine, or was that the one that was supposed to be another one of the dwarven routes through the mountains? But
Both. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be it was originally a crystal mine, and then the dwarves said that they'd mine out a route to Magma Reach so that it wasn't so isolated and it could only connect to Relical. In the process of
then-
doing so, something happened. Things attacked, and for whatever reason, they had to close the mine and have since built a giant door in the way to stop whatever may be in there.
Oh, nice. We're gonna have to fight our way through that then, aren't we? Probably.
Yep.
Nice.
Why am I supposed to care?
Okay. Well, so we have a rough idea. We've had food. Well, I've had food. When are we having dinner? I want dinner.
The rest of you are handed bits of hog roast on plates as each of you receive your buns with hog roast in.
Thank you very kindly. I
See-
say to whoever serves me.
Yeah, you see the person one of the people who was doing the carving, kind of a mostly bland complexion, kind of female human with her hairs otherwise tied back to keep out of the way as she carries the plate over and goes, "You're welcome. Thank you for the gift." Just gives a general nod to you, Rook, and kind of
No
nods to the
worries.
rest of you before travelling back.
Okay, so 50 seems okay, but I feel like we should have we should have sprung for the 75. Is that just me? Is that just me?
Look, no, because if we get them
Trying to
75,
save.
then we've got to give everybody else 75. Come on, man.
A general note with like 50 gold pieces, depending on where they work and what their jobs are. If they work in, say, agriculture, like most people around here, I believe they earn about 800 gold a year. So 50 gold is basically, here, have a 3 months paycheck.
That's fair.
So 50
More
gold is
than that.
quite a lot for most people.
Okay, alright.
Alright.
Okay.
So, what are your next steps? You've eaten, you've drunk, you've got rooms that you've paid for if you wish to go and loathe in them for a bit, or if you wish to explore the town, you can do so.
Would you like to see the town, or
Oh, if
You know
you want
what?
to give us a tour.
Sure.
Sure.
well, there's a trader's corner. There's the market square. There's a blacksmith. If you want to go there, Sasha and Prill.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
I'm always happy to have a look, but
We've kind of seen the best of blacksmiths, haven't we?
true. There's also a potion maker.
Ooh, I need to go there.
Shall we head there first?
Yeah. I mean, wherever you're leading, I don't know this place. They're probably just gonna fondle me all over again. Yeah. So no, you lead.
wait, I'm sorry. Are we fondling Rook again?
No.
That's what Fallout 6.
Fondling.
I guess I'll take them to the market square.
You take them to the market square, moving through back towards the central area of town. You reach what looks to be a large kind of square patio almost area. In the center of it seems to be a small kind of memorial pillar with what looks to be text in front of it and a stone barrier wrapped around it. You see that there are a number of flowers that have been placed down on the edges of the barrier itself. You can see that there are individuals otherwise clearing up and removing bits from the square. What looks to be a series of gazebo-like cloth that's been hanging over what looks to be a small stage as well as several seats. From your general understanding, this seems to be where the main wedding took place, given the nature of understanding this event. You see a number of individuals otherwise talking and standing around. You see, in the main square, you see what looks to be a silver dragonborn wearing what looks to be a set of very ornamental plate armor. It is bright, very shiny, and otherwise very well polished and taken care of, with a very obvious symbol of a dragon and bell, the symbol that you understand to be Motalin. You see that she is otherwise unarmed, but otherwise seems to be talking to another individual, another dragonborn, who otherwise stands there almost at attention as they talk, just in casual conversation. Looking around at the market square, you see a number of buildings, most of which don't really have much recollection. They just look like housing of some kind, a higher society of some form. But most notably, you see two shops that are pointed out to you. You see Boiling Brews, a potion and ointment shop, which Bern otherwise gestures to as your next destination. And you see a florist, which is otherwise mostly empty, called Delaron's Buds.
Yes. Where would you like to head in first?
I need to go into the potion shop, see if I can get some more potions of growth, because I'm running low.
Alright.
You could probably pick up some healing potions as well, just to be on the safe side. I don't know what we're going to get ourselves into.
How are we? Yes, how are we doing for those at the moment?
I have none. Literally none.
Rook have 5 standard healing potions. Forgot I had these.
Oh, thanks.
I've got 10 of them.
I've got 6.
I used all of mine trying to.
You guys can
Malcom.
have mine. They don't really work on.
We should probably. Yeah.
2d4 plus 2, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or is it
2d4 plus 2.
1d4? Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not
So-
lesser healing potions.
So how many to? Given to what?
I'm going to give you 5 of my of the standard healing potions, so that's 2d4 plus 2 healing per.
Cool.
I'll give 3 of mine to Queglod. And 3 to Malcom.
You're saying you have the one.
And you should probably get some stronger healing potions as well, just in case. Better to
So yes,
have them.
I am all tapped out of healing potions.
You should find what you can get. Buy up the whole supply if we can. Though they'll have masses. Not exactly an adventurer's town, this place.
On a side note related to potions, would anyone like to hold on to this? And I pull out my magic flask.
What is that?
What?
It's an item I developed. It can be used to remotely deploy potions to people. You say a command word
shit,
and
I'd
it
forgotten
flies
about
over to
that.
people and gives them potions. I've been holding on to it because I had no other way to heal
Yeah.
people other than giving you potions. But since I've now developed some magic that can do that, it may be more worthwhile one of you holding on to it.
Elsyan, do you want it? I mean,
I can heal. I can do healing now as well.
All right. Rook, do you want it?
Is it an action to use that thing, or is it a bonus action?
What are bonus actions and actions?
No, just out of context.
I think it has to be a bonus action because that was literally why you developed
Yeah,
it.
it's a bonus action.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
a bonus
sure, I'll-
action from how long was it? Like 30-foot range?
30 feet, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
it's a 30-foot bonus action.
yeah.
Apply a healing potion, which is has to be pre-designated and attuned to the flask, if I'm correct.
It definitely has to be pre-designated. I don't know if you can just swap them out willy-nilly or...
I think the. Do you have the description of it? Because I'm going off of memory here. I believe it was an action to swap the potion or to resupply it, but it was a bonus action to send it, and then it was a bonus action to bring it back.
I have that it was an action to recall it, but I may be wrong about that.
Okay. It's whatever you have written down.
I don't have anything written down about how long it takes to swap out, so...
Okay. I'll see if I can find it in my notes.
Wait.
My understanding was it's more like a mesh that you put the potion into.
Yeah, it was a
So
carry.
an action would make sense then for that
Oh.
to swap out.
Okay.
It's not something that takes an extended period. It's just you take one out and you put the other one in.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it gives me the chance to fix someone near me. I mean, I can't heal otherwise. I'm too busy smashing things. So yeah, okay. That sounds like fun.
Okay then. I'll hand it over to Rook.
Right. Okay. Range.
30 feet.
Potion.
Yeah. So we'll say it's a bonus
Thing.
action to use, and that will be to give somebody the potion. It takes an action to swap it out, but it takes an additional bonus action to recall it. So in other words, it would be bonus action if it's already filled, you send it out, give someone a healing potion. Next turn, bonus action, pull it back, and if you want to reload it, you have to use an action to put a new one in. 'Cause it's a fumbly item, it's not just a simple thing.
Okay, right. That. Yep. Cool.
But it doesn't necessarily need to be pre-designated. You could start combat by putting a new potion in.
Can I just leave a potion in it?
You can
I'll
leave
do
any
that.
potion you want in it. It's just that's how it would be. Okay. So do you head in?
Yeah.
Okay. Traveling into the store, you see that the building work itself, similar to the main design of this area, it is a single-story building, and you see in the central open area, you see what looks to be a number of indoor house plants, otherwise growing up, kind of just for interior decoration. You see that on the rights and lefts there are a number of what look to be bookshelves and a number of seats. You get the sense this is more of a doctor's than a potion shop. But looking at it, looking behind the counter, you can see a golden dragonborn, who otherwise looks over at you all and goes, "Don't recognize you from these parts. You're adventurers or travelers."
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely correct.
This is the land.
Yeah.
The Dawn Seekers, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. Oh,
I'm sure everyone
Big
thought
names.
this is opportunity.
I apologize. I don't have many adventuring supplies. I'm mostly just a doctor. But if there's anything you might need, I might have it.
Well, I'm only after two potential things, and that's healing potions and any potions of growth you might have.
Potions of growth, they take a bit more than I have, but healing potions, I believe I have. He kind of thinks for a moment, taps his finger on the desk. I believe I have 6 regular and one of the big ones. It was gifted to me from one of the other potion sellers in town before they went out of business.
Okay, how much would all that cost?
Regular ones, they're 50 gold per, so for 6 it'll be 300. If you're looking to buy the big one, I believe that one goes for 4,000 gold.
Okay, I'll take the 6.
The big one is a superior healing potion, 8d4 plus 8.
I don't have 4,000 gold. Holy shit.
To make sure I'm getting those numbers correct.
Yeah.
Because it matters, you know. Shopping.
Wasn't
Right.
because the Templars.
There's my list.
So now we're at a time where the Templars do not.
Wait, do you mean a supreme healing potion or a superior healing
Superior.
Oh.
That's some good healing. Although how much is it? Sorry.
84.
4,000. I'm trying to see if I've got the price right on that.
That does sound
that's
quite big.
That sounds
Yeah.
very big for a consumable. If it was, I get that it's a high rarity, but for it's a one-time use thing.
So it halves the price roughly. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
That's it.
I have a list of these somewhere. I'm just trying to find where I put them. No, it's not in a list of drugs. Out of context, that would sound very bad, but you know what? Sure.
We know what you mean.
The pricing for a superior healing potion is 2,500.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the standard price. It goes 50, 250, 2,500, 25,000.
I mean, I still can't afford that.
Yes.
I'm happy to go slightly in with it. That was what I was going to use to load into the range potion thing.
Right.
So it was going to be for the party, not me. So if someone can help, then I can get it.
So superior healing potion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many common potions do you have?
6.
I've brought the 6 commons.
So it's
Okay.
300 gold, you bought the 6 commons.
Yeah.
Right,
That's fair.
let me get those. You watch as he kind of turns around, goes through a open back door, and you hear him reach for a few things, and then comes back out with a small satchel. Did you just want to take the satchel?
Yeah, sure.
He takes the 300 gold, slides the satchel to you, containing 6 healing potions.
Excellent. All right.
Is there anything else you're looking for? Most of the stuff I do is more a cure to the cold, or you've got sores in places you don't want them, or...
I don't know if you'd have, or you know anything about this. The Tom's ointment. Would you be able to reload that? I'm pretty sure it's aloe.
Can't say I know much about it. Aloes, they don't grow too much down here. You want to go further east for that.
Okay. Right here. Well, it's
Yeah.
worth a shot.
If you head to Mudland Dock, I believe they do quite a large amount, just off the edge of the Kazari Swamp.
Right, okay. Right, I'll keep note of that. I know Malcom fixed it up last time. I can't remember what he did.
He went out and bought the supplies and remade it, but it takes a lot of time.
Okay, yeah, fair dues. I'll get
Yeah.
him to fix that at some
It
point.
takes 1d4 days per charge to reload it, so...
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen
Yeah,
at all.
but because of the uses, or because of the fact that he was using various things in order to make it, he was cheesing it a bit because he was a druid. He was reducing the time.
Classic druid.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's everything then. I will put towards the superior if someone wants that, but like I really don't have that much gold. I'd be broke.
I can put
It's just a piece of
I can put some gold forward. How much was it again?
2,000. What was it?
How much was it?
Yeah,
It was 2,500.
2,500. I can put 1,500.
Yeah, roll. Just rolls around.
Yeah, I can put the rest of for that.
Okay. So that's going to take me down to this. Yikes. Okay. And is it cool with you? I'll load it into the range potion thing. Has it actually got a name, or I'm just going to call it the range potion thing?
I call it the Potioninator.
I'm not writing that down.
I've only been calling it the magic flask, but
His copy of
if you're going to be using it, you can name it whatever you wish. I
Cool.
didn't really come up for a name.
Alright then. Range potion thing it is then. And I'll put in brackets loaded with superior.
Yes,
Doc.
the good old-fashioned Rook's Remedy.
Rook's Remedy, stolen from Queglod.
Made with only the finest Queglod enchantment.
Copyright laws don't exist here. And before anyone says anything, I know they do. I
There we
know.
go. There we go.
There are a few other things I do.
Such as...
I make things to help you climb.
Could be useful when we're going into the mountains. Don't know how much that... Don't know what state that those tunnels are in either. What have you got?
He pulls out what looks to be more vials and goes, "These are potions of climbing. They help you grip onto things. They're 35 gold a pop." They're just the same stats as potions of climbing. They give you advantage on strength athletics checks to climb.
That
For
would
an
be useful.
hour.
Okay. How many you got?
I have 4 in stock. Takes me about 3 days to make if you're sticking around.
We won't be sticking around that long. And no offense, I'm sure they work wonderfully, but I don't think we'll be sticking around just for potions that we don't know we might need.
No, I understand.
A couple of them sound good to you guys, or should we just get the whole lot?
Couple sound good. I mean, there's only a few of us that struggle climbing, isn't there?
True. Yeah, that's we can carry his own body weight. He's only got 10 in strength. And I can use my intelligence to boost me using telekinesis. Do telekinesis on my shoes, Chris.
You can, and that's fine. The main thing is that then you wouldn't be using strength athletics, so the climbing wouldn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Because it would just be intelligence rolls.
Which I am more than happy with. But yeah, we'll take 2 of them. That's, you said 35 gold each?
Yes, that'd be 70 gold.
70 gold? Don't want to give a bulk buy discount. You know what, never mind, 70 gold it is. I've been burnt in the past by insulting
Merchants.
Merchants by trying to get things bundled. No, Sam, you don't have 3,230 gold. You have 230 gold pieces. I have also put in here, just so my own brain works, a little formula to get the total gold's worth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You can tell it's mine because they're not on the pretty boxes Chris puts.
Yeah, fair. I think
Alright.
half of my stuff is out of the pre-boxes as well.
Yeah, true.
I've got notes all over the place. Like I've got Mage's Lost Tower. I have half forgotten what that is.
Nice.
I want my umbrella back.
Get your umbrella back.
I don't want to get it back because they took in the first.
Well?
Calm.
Thank you for the service. If you need anything cured or you need any help, let me know and I'll do my best.
How much do they weigh, Chris?
Pound.
Pound.
Both of them.
Pound each. Good. Potions of.
Think about putting the weight
Library.
in this stuff. Like, you never tell me it, so I never do it.
You don't
I've
need to
got-
worry too much. It's mostly people with low strength that worry.
It's true. I guess I have got, what, 130
Hello.
carrying weight still left?
Yeah, you should be fine. I mean, we can. If it's mainly just if you're carrying anything big. Most of the time, we can just go through and sort that all out.
I mean, bear in mind, most of what Elsyan's carrying, he's got some incomplete sheet music, which I have in there as 0.
Yeah, which would make sense because it's paper.
Yeah. I think the only I've got a herbalism book. I still need to put in my dragon book actually.
Books always weigh, I want to say £5 or £3. They're in the player's handbook. Just any standard book always weighs roughly the same,
Fair enough.
unless it's a thinner or thicker book. But I typically don't care too much about that. Books weigh £5 each.
£5. Oh god. Thank you. Ring of Protection. Does it weigh enough to register?
All right.
Then that's everything sorted. My umbrella on.
So, as you head out back into the square, people are still clearing stuff out and moving things away. Where would you like to go?
What did was the other one about to sell? Sorry.
It's a florist.
Ah,
So
yeah.
they sell flowers.
Yeah. Sorry, I just missed that.
Yeah, they seem to be largely out of stock. You can guess why. There was a wedding in town today, so
Where do you guys want to go?
I don't really know this place. I've got everything that I need.
Curious to look around. See what these racists live like.
Okay, look, those were some guards. You know, look, all guards are bastards. You know this.
Not all of them.
Just
Just when they stop me from doing what I want to do, that's when they're bastards. It's
That's
very.
serious stuff.
I am very specific about that, Sasha. It's only when it affects me is when they become a problem. Should have just told them what Dawn Seekers should have threatened them with the weight of the entire Elven kingdoms of this small hanky-dink town. I'm calm. I'm calm.
Alright, well, I have something I needed to do. If you guys wanted to run around town, see what it's like.
Do you need any help with what you want to do?
No, I just need to visit something.
Would you like any company? Else
How incredibly vague and suspicious.
Just like your blades.
Okay, to be quite fair, most of
But
them
you're not
I have
getting
never.
back.
Most of them I have never laid eyes on. I bought this coat off of a very friendly lizard man, and quite frankly, I am offended that they stole the knives that were dedicated to the rigidity of the coat.
I would
You're
say you
not-
could have mine, but you
We
know.
go back to that moment when you first spoke to Shishkri, and he told you, "Do you want hidden blades in there? Would you like the Assassin's Edition?" And you said, "Yes, please. I want to use them one day."
I never have.
And you
Hey,
never
does
will.
that mean that Elsyan can no longer pop his collar? Will the
No,
blades
no,
give
no,
it
my-
that
my- my-
He
my
rigidity?
doesn't have his collar to pop.
No, the collar. The thing that makes the collar cringy is that it's not from the coat. It's from the robe that I wear under the coat.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Yeah, right now
I know.
most of you are just wearing like regular winter coats down here, and nobody's like, and everyone's like, "Are these people mad?" Because you're just wandering around in them.
I mean,
We don't feel weather, right?
you know how Elsyan looks? It's like when someone wears a jumper over a shirt and they pop the collar on that. That's how it normally looks. But of course the collar goes up behind his head, because who needs fucking peripheral vision? Elsyan's got enough perception that he doesn't need the corners of his eyes to see things.
True. You're gonna hate campaign 2 without these Shishkri approved clothing.
Oh, I am.
I'm going to come to a conclusion. I haven't even got any Shishkri proving clothing on.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. You bought some before you met the party.
I did, which was a cloak. And I'm currently wearing a cloak of protection.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're not wearing any.
No.
Well, good to know for when you start going to dangerous places like the desert or into the mountains. But
Oh,
for
we're
now, it
never
doesn't
going to
matter.
get to a desert. We're going to be in this temperate landscape forever.
What do you mean? There's one literally right next to you on the map.
The desert is far too far away, Chris. That's just a large beach, okay? There is no reason why that's a desert. Apart from a wizard did it, which is an acceptable reason no matter what happens. But seriously, what sort of geographical bullshit caused a desert here?
Yes, and mountains that don't connect to anything.
Mountains don't have to connect to things.
No, I know, but I'm not gonna make an entire plate structure for D&D because that's just a waste of time.
I know you were tempted at one point.
No, I just went with ley lines because it's simpler, because that's just drawing lines rather than drawing directions of plates and then deciding what's constructive, destructive. I can't remember the other two. Anyway,
I feel like it's abductive, but that doesn't sound right.
no, it's like
There's
attrition and
there's destructive, constructive, conservative. Attrition is a type of erosion. By the way, I remember conservative, and I remember how conservative plate lines work because they like to rub.
They
Like-
do like to rub.
Oh my.
Like the Conservative Party.
yeah. Anyway, let's not get political. So, Bern, you're
Too late, Chris.
the rest of
We
you.
already started talking about the police abusing their power. What next? An orange man coming to rule the world?
You realise
The
that
prince
Elsyan is a
is
high elf and
orange.
thus
I
has
was gonna
mild orange textures.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
no,
it.
he's pale as fuck, and you know it. I refuse to believe Elsyan is Trump, but then again, he is mentally unstable and has a mad lust for power. The thing is, Elsyan is occasionally competent.
Yeah.
In fact, he most of the time he's the most perceptive person of the party, thanks to his redonk passive perception. Most of the time.
Anyway, so Bern, you were.
Yes. I'll meet you guys back in the town.
Okay. I'll leave you to do you things.
Does anybody wish to follow Bern?
But hopefully not Sasha.
Clank, 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 clank.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
went
that's
last
not-
night.
Oh yeah, that's the point. He never did actually say what the fuck he was doing, did he?
No.
No.
At this point, you watch as Bern begins to walk just away from the group.
Sasha, let Bern have some secrets.
I'm just saying he didn't have to be so shady about it. Like, it just
Sasha, if Bern wanted to talk about it, he would have done. And I'm sure when he's good and ready, he will mention this stuff. Besides, I can just read his brain.
As you're all standing there having this conversation, you watch as Bern enters into the florists.
Oh, it's
Okay.
absolutely a sex thing, isn't it?
No, no.
It definitely
There
No,
we
is.
go.
no, guys, Sasha, don't. What if it's not a sex thing? What if you're supposed to say, visit the grave of a loved one?
You said it wasn't a sex thing when we found out Behold was going to that massage place, and look how that turned out.
Okay,
Oh,
that was
dear.
my fault for trusting a man that could only count to apples. No offense to Behold, he was a lovely guy, and quite frankly, the best tank we could ask for.
Oh, man.
But not, you have to admit, not the sharpest tool in the box.
Not exactly the sharpest sword in the quiver, as it were.
Swords don't go in quivers, Sasha.
That's the point.
They go in umbrellas.
That's the
Oh,
that.
no.
That was the point. It was an anachronism. Never mind.
Okay. So,
Wait. Sorry. I want to correct Harlan on this.
Okay,
you
it
are
wasn't an anachronism, but I can't remember the word. Okay.
I think you'll find it's a metaphor. You're combining two different sayings into one. Anyway, sorry, Chris.
There's
so
obviously
what
my
would you like
factory.
to do? What would you like to do? Would you like to travel as a party? Would you like to wander around? Would you like to follow Bern?
I was interested in that trade quarter thing he mentioned, but
Trade
I
corner?
don't know what is that exactly.
Where we are, it's just like the market.
No, it's different from the market square.
and then it's the trade corner.
Oh, okay.
Can I start a riot here without the guards knowing it was me, and the guards have more work? Probably not, although I did get very close in Adamanthium.
Did. Sasha, would you like to do an investigation check to look around for it?
You know I don't want to do an investigation check at any point ever, Chris. But yes.
I mean, if you're traveling with somebody else can do it.
Oh, I don't mind.
Elsyan,
What, Sasha? What do you want me to do?
investigate for me.
Chris, can I just do my passive investigation?
Nope.
It's 25, man.
I know.
Pretty
That's why I
Fair
said no.
enough.
By all rights, Elsyan should know everything about everywhere we ever enter.
Passive investigation, as I've actually come to understand, is it's put meaning to your passive perception. So it doesn't mean
Fair
that
enough.
you can.
Okay,
you don't
but
see a
Chris,
town
I
and
do want you to
understand
know
it.
that's a dirty 20.
That's fine. Okay. So it doesn't take you long as you explore town. Anybody else traveling with them?
Sure. I mean, it's not like I've got much else to do.
Queglod?
Yeah, same. Don't really got a lot to
Malcom
do.
will
in
travel
this
with
game.
you also. As you wander around town, leaving Bern to his business, and Bern, you know what you're doing, so I'm not going to have anything happen there. Yet. As you wander around town, you come to a kind of large, another one of these clearings, but this one's more circular or oval shape. You can see there are a number of carts that have otherwise pulled up in various locations. You can see there are what looks to be a few smithies in the area. You can see what looks to be an individual otherwise equipping horseshoes to a horse here. You can see in the center there is almost a large gallows in a way, but it seems to have been refitted for the purpose of hanging various fresh goods like large bits of meat that otherwise hang out in the air where individuals are currently selling them off for auction. Trader's Corner, from the looks of it, just seems to be a large area of trading. From the looks of it, you can see the blacksmith that Bern mentioned earlier, called Wren's Smithy. And looking around, you see another tavern called the Sage's Goblet. Hello?
Don't worry, Chris, BT hasn't fled you yet.
Good.
Where?
Right.
Okay.
Hashtag fuck BT.
Yep. Fuck BT.
Hashtag fuck BT.
So we went so long without the ritual, we needed to do it.
Yep.
Where do you think we should go?
I have no idea. I don't think there's anything that I need. Looks at everyone else. Anything else people want?
Elsyan?
Sure, why not? What? I'm very confused, sorry.
A new umbrella sword, maybe?
Let's run through all of the options. Chris?
You've got Ren's Smithy,
Mhm.
which is the blacksmith you were told about. There is a set of repurposed gallows in the centre where an auction is currently taking place for fresh meat and other prime cuts. You can see there are a number of carts around the area which are either being fixed or remade, and you can see a number of horses being reshoed.
We could check out the auction.
You know what? It could
We
be a
have
chance to get something
meat.
cheap.
True, but doesn't Malcolm have loads of meat already? Didn't he
Oh,
stock up for all of us?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes and no, but that's all. None of that's fresh.
Yeah, that's all long life preserve stuff.
okay.
So I'm just saying maybe we
Are we likely
maybe we
to get
grab
much
something
use out of
nice.
fresh meat? Unless you want to have
Yeah.
some now.
Well,
And
I've got
we
my
don't really have our
direwolf.
own. I mean, if you
It's
want to
nice.
get some meat to feed your wolf, then go right ahead. But
And like, there's nothing. And also, like, I'm sure if we really wanted to, there's nothing stopping us from just, making fire and cooking. We have obscenely powerful abilities to rend the very elements at our whims.
Does anyone know Fireball?
I mean, we can
Pretty
absolutely
sure
cook it,
Bern
just
does.
not.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we can cook meat then. If
Yeah,
Sasha stands...
we can't really do that in town, though.
Like, worst comes to worst, light the beard.
Oh,
No.
beard meat. That doesn't sound nice.
Come on, beard
I mean,
meat.
Also, if we're in town, we can go to somewhere, a food establishment and...
All right. Fine, let's just go to the market square and have a look around. God, I was trying to do something fun for once. I just wanted to try something new. Is that so wrong?
Sasha, you know what would be fun? We go find the evidence locker and get my coat back, and my umbrella.
Well, I'm sure if we go to them and told them who we
Okay,
are,
okay.
they'd probably get stuff
No,
back.
Queglod
that's
says
gonna be
yes, we'll
awkward.
do it.
No, Queglod, is it a good idea?
Raid the guards.
Okay,
Well, we
you
can
said-
bring it back.
When Elsyan sort of said something, when you say it like that,
Now, for a raid
It makes-
party, you require 10 players, so unfortunately, a little bit of difficulty there.
okay, what about pillage? What do we need for a pillage party?
5, you should be there.
Okay.
Okay, we could pillage the
Pillage
guards.
Lower level
It does mean-
monsters.
Low level monsters, but we do have to burn down the guardhouse. I think this may not be a bright idea, and I swear, if they give me that sword back, and it's in a terrible condition, I will put it somewhere they don't want it there. I will put the umbrella end up their arse, then open the umbrella, and drag it out again.
Oh, fuck. That's rough.
Indeed. Honestly, there are times where I think I've got a bit too much of my mother in me, and I'm a bit vindictive.
Malcom nods.
Oh no, you're absolutely vindictive, but let's be honest. Like, you're an elf.
Okay, Sasha, that is a gross generalization that unfortunately is entirely true.
And you call this town
Unless you're from
racist
Goladon.
because
Okay.
they follow
Okay.
stereotypes.
Look. Elves and dwarves are like the English and the French. We're allowed.
We have history that allows countless amounts of racism between us. But if humans get involved, then oh boy. The only other people we're allowed to get in on this is halflings, because quite frankly, we know we can wipe them out if we want to.
Oh, you say that.
Except
I
for
am
Queglod.
absolutely
Halfling.
terrified of a halfling uprising.
I mean, they have been known to turn away Dark Lords in the past.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Banjo Saggins?
Yes, and
Okay,
Weapon
Harlan, you're not allowed to
size-
play any other character except for Banjo Saggins next campaign. You must
make
prove to
Harlan
me
play
that he
that.
will destroy the Dark Lord.
Oh my god.
banjo sound. That plays the banjo. It's a god. It's a bard that plays the banjo, but the neck of the banjo is all wobbly.
It's like
That is so cursed.
All right. On that bombshell,
It's time to end.
not quite. Got an hour to go.
Good night.
As you wander around town exploring,
Oh, this is a cut.
wandering around town exploring various areas. Go ahead and roll me another investigation check, please, Elsyan. See what you see.
Oh.
Yes, rolling in Dungeons and Dragons. I know.
I don't believe it, Chris. I'm not allowed to roll. Not after the incident. That's
Only
another.
20 again.
It's another dirty 20.
As you're wandering around town, looking through various things, you discover upon where most of the high society lives. They live just off of the market square. The high society seems to consist of two main houses. Well, you're not entirely sure who they may be.
Racists.
As you wander around, you eventually come to an area called Grace's Sanctuary. You kind of wander around. It is a rather large open area of grass and well-made stone brick roads. Or mud brick roads. The area around here is very well kept and gardened. You can see open priests and clerics of various kinds otherwise wander around these grounds. You can see there are a few houses. There's what looks to be a population of poor individuals otherwise being kept under a large canopy area near the centre of the kind of grassy area. You see off to the left is a rather large chapel by the name of Motalin's Grace Chapel. You see that it is one of the few buildings built with a little bit of cut stone embedded in it, suggesting that the stone was brought from elsewhere. And it isn't the biggest thing, but it is a very well kept and beautiful chapel. A little bit of crawling ivy going up the side of the chapel itself. Various rose bushes and other kind of tulips and other flowers otherwise grown around it. And off to the right of that, you see a graveyard. The graveyard itself is walled in by a relatively short stone wall running around it. There are a number of trees that obscure some of it here and there, and there's otherwise the graveyard is relatively large given the town's history. And slightly further off from that, a little ways down the road to the right, you see a rather large building. It has no label, it has no name. It looks kind of like a school. Most of your party's just wandering around as they see the trees, they see the grass, the very well made area.
This is a very pleasant place. Must be said.
It is very calming, and with the light winds kind of rolling through, it feels like a warm wind.
Not going to murder guards today.
Anything any of you would like to do?
I don't think there's anything in particular Elsyan would like to do. He's just happily, calmly, just enjoying the more peaceful environment.
Oh, serenity.
That's never happened for anyone. No one in America has ever done.
Well timed.
Okay, with you said there was a graveyard nearby, right?
Yes.
Let's go corpse digging!
Okay, well,
Sasha.
I mean, I don't have a lot else to do, so I might go and pray there for a bit.
I like how two of them have
You wander up to the graveyard, kind of taking your steps in. Do the rest of you go with?
I'm just curious. I'm following. Don't really know what's going on. I'm just following.
This feels kind like I'm going. Is there a forest nearby a
No.
sort of nature walk or anything?
There are a few trees in the area, but that's about it. These are the only trees you've seen nearby, other than the handful of orchards further out from town. You get a sense that they get quite a lot of their wood cut from elsewhere, or it used to grow here, but not any longer.
They are tree murderers. Trudderers, if you will.
Tell you what.
I can only apologise.
Fine. I've got racial slurs I can use on you later.
I'm going to go through the market, and I'm going to be trying to find ingredients.
What kind of ingredients?
I'm looking for things in order to make a traditional dwarven pie, fruit pie.
Okay. So you're just going to go to a grocer's and try and pick up some basic stuff.
Basically, but also like any special ingredients I find, I'm going to be like, ooh, those might be nice. But I'm doing this because it was recently Sasha's birthday.
Go ahead and roll me a athletics check.
It's 18. I don't know. Let me double check that. 17.
17. You think, I'm going to go and get some ingredients. At this time, you look up and you notice it's probably about 5, 6 in the evening. The markets are closing down at this time. You quickly, as best you can, run to the marketplace, as most of them seem to have closed up and left. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Motherfucker. How long were we walking?
Not the biggest of towns, but you're exploring various areas.
Perception. That's 20. Dirty 20.
Oh. You look around. You do see one stall that is still open. The individual is busy kind of packing bits away and moving the crates back onto what looks to be a small car, which they're going to drag away.
I quickly zoom over, observe. That's right, I'm that shopper.
Oh no.
The individual looks at you and goes, I'm closing up for the night. If you want anything, buy it now or it's going to be gone. You can come back tomorrow.
What's he got there?
Looking over, you can see that he has all forms of just general fruit, apples, some oranges. Nothing too exotic. What you'd usually find at your grocer's, like just apples, oranges, pears, a few pomegranates here and there.
Does he have any raspberries or something, or blackcurrants or something similar like that?
This isn't quite the season, fortunately.
Okay, whatever sour apples he's got.
Sour apples? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many you want?
How big are they?
Usual size, just maybe slightly smaller than a tennis ball.
All right.
About the same size, actually.
Okay. Let's say 6.
All right, that'll be 2 silver.
All right, I hand over 2 silver.
Right. He takes the 2 silver, pockets it, picks up the crate, puts it on his cart. All right. Well, I've packed up for the night. You watch as he pulls his cord and the fabric otherwise folds down in front of the shop front. Have a good rest of your night. And he picks up the cart and otherwise begins to wheel it away.
Wonderful.
Okay. The rest of you who are in the sanctuary, Queglod, you were heading into the graveyard. The rest of you?
I followed Queglod.
I was just not quite sure what to do. Just gonna... Fuck it. Follow Queglod. That's always a good idea.
Okay. I'd like you three to roll me a perception check, then, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Chris is a... that Chris, I want to just... Oh, I thought my perception was a little bit harder than that, but it's not. It's just 27.
Just 27.
Just
Okay.
27, holy crap.
Rook?
Mine is 11.
Queglod?
No.
Yeah, 11 here as well.
Okay. The two of you wander up, Queglod, with your more intent on a moment of prayer. You otherwise move into the cemetery and you, or the graveyard, and you look around and you can see quite a lot of graves here. Most of them are kind of moss-claden, but there's an individual otherwise dusting them off, peeling off bits of moss and kind of washing it down and using a brush. You get a sense with the winter that passed not too long ago, they went into a little bit of disrepair, but they've proceeded to bring it back up now, as they're otherwise cleaning them. Any toppled or broken tombstones they seem to be preparing to replace. And it's generally very well cared for. You move around, you can see a number of bits and pieces. Elsyan,
Yes.
with your 27 in perception,
Hey.
as you wander into the graveyard, there's a moment of pause as you kind of just stand there and you look over to your right, and you see a gravestone. It doesn't feel familiar, it doesn't look familiar, but something about it stands out. You see that in front of it there is a pot filled with fresh flowers.
Interesting. I didn't see the flowers that Bern bought, did I?
No.
No. I of course read the tombstone if I can. If it's in a language I understand.
Yep, it is written in common.
Fair enough.
As you see, it is written as Angela died too soon, and you see the date that's written was about 100 odd years ago. You also see noted underneath. You see also noted as part of the tombstone is the wording "Poppy Down Orphanage."
Oh no. That's made Elsyan sad and have feelings past his own superiority. Elsyan does not appreciate this feeling. Elsyan's going to, in a more serious note, Elsyan's going to just walk through the graveyard and it's a bit macabre to say, but any interesting tombstones or stuff, I'll have a moment and have a look, read at the people.
With your passive investigation, looking over the names, you don't particularly see anything in particular. The main thing you do note is a lot of the names on here don't have surnames, and all of the ones which are individuals from Poppy Down Orphanage. You look through, there are hundreds of them, spanning 200, 300 years.
This place had an orphan problem.
And as you wander in, you notice one in particular that very much catches you off guard. You see Bern written on a tombstone. But you see no date of death. Just a blank tombstone. That's it.
Huh. Interesting.
Spelt the same way as your fellow companion.
Elsyan's going to make the leap and assumption that it is for the same person. It's a small leap, but still a bit of a leap. It could be anyone named Bern, but well, guess we'll know when to send you if Sasha doesn't get you back up, right? Or Malcom, or me. This is Elsyan just talking to himself.
Okay.
Yes, we haven't seen this, have we?
No.
No, Elsyan's just wandered off. At this point, you...
Yeah. Elsyan's not going to point it out either.
Okay.
As he said earlier, Bern's allowed to keep his secrets if he wants to.
Okay.
You do see
Queglod's
in-
not looking too closely at the individual names, so.
You do see in front of the tombstone, which does have the word Bern on it, it has what looks to be a single flower otherwise placed in front of it. What looks to be that of a white rose.
What's the name of the orphanage again?
Poppy Down Orphan.
Pop it down. Okay. I know it's a flower. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to guess any significance of that being a white rose.
White Rose suggests a. Maybe actually no. Make me a religion or nature check of your choice. Actually no.
Hell.
Religion or history, I'd say for that.
Oh boy, history miles off. Motherfucker. Now, with your -5, Chris, I do want to say that that is still a 6.
Okay.
But it's still a natural 1.
Yeah, you weren't much for understanding flowers, particularly.
And that's
Roses usually signify love, but a white rose, if it has any significance beyond that, you're not sure.
pure love. No, that makes no sense. I've got no idea. Might have to bring it up with Bern at some point. Or leave it be.
While you're there looking around, Queglod, you kneel down and you begin praying.
I want to join him. I want some. Yeah. After the whole thing with the granddad, I kind of want him to pass safely, and all my other family members, and I have a respect for the Raven Queen now, so I kind of want to learn more about it.
Okay, well, I mean, Queglod would be happy to teach. We'll probably just leave Rook to do his own thing, unless he asks. So, for the moment, I'll probably just kneel down and say a few prayers.
Okay.
Since we've been a bit busy for.
As you kind of kneel down, say a few prayers, you hear soft footsteps otherwise approaching you.
Can Felipe look around while I keep going?
As Felipe looks around, Felipe doesn't seem disturbed by the soft footsteps of the individual walking closer. Or there's a light call, Felipe. See footsteps otherwise stop.
Okay. There being no immediate action, I will finish what I was doing and then get up and turn around.
Okay. As you get up and turn around, you see what looks to be a older elven lady. Long dark hair, but she and her hair look very thin. Looking at her, she has what looks to be gentle blue eyes, which otherwise seem to bring a sense of warmth and comfort to you. You otherwise look at her, and she seems to be wearing a simple white underdress with kind of a black overcoat, almost like a habit that nuns would wear.
Sure.
She kind of just looks at you and looks at the grave. She moves over to it and places what looks to be a small bundle of flowers on the surface of it. Or just standing up and looking at you. Did you know them?
Not personally, no.
Nice.
Not from town. Merely paying my respects in general.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have family here?
I work at the orphanage here. Guess you could say they're all my family.
Yeah.
I see. Well, the
Yeah,
work
there's
of
one person waiting outside,
paying
besides
respect after death is just as important as protecting
that.
life. So
Hmm.
you have my thanks.
Yeah.
This is the best picture of me.
She just kind of gives a warm smile and a gentle nod. And
Not back as well.
she stops for a moment, kind of inhales a bit and turns around. Have you seen... I know this may sound daft, but have you seen an older fellow Looks elven. Of dark black hair, slightly drooped ears, wears a hood. Wanders the graveyards every now and then, and yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Well, I can't say I've seen anyone like that, but if I do find them, is there anything you'd like me to tell them?
No, I'm sure they'll come back soon.
Very well.
Gives a smile and a nod, and otherwise wanders off.
Yeah.
Rook, you're currently playing Homage as well. Not really to a grave, but more in general. You otherwise look around, Elsyan comes back, and the
Nice.
rest of you leave the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
As it's getting dark now and dusk is beginning to set in as it gets a little bit late, you wander back, meeting Sasha at the inn, and meeting Bern at the inn. As you arrive there, you see Bern's otherwise sat at a table. He has what looks to be some kind of pie in front of him, as he kind of chows down on it with a small drink in front of him. The tavern seems to have calmed down somewhat, but you can see there are still some of the honoured guests who are otherwise sat over in their secluded portion of the tavern, otherwise drinking and eating. The wife and groom are otherwise gone, though.
Honeymoon. You can't tell I'm doing suggestive eyebrows.
We can't tell.
No.
We can feel
I
it,
feel
though.
slightly sick.
You should have got it from context clues.
Oh.
Is there anything you wish to do before bed, or just
Eat.
eat, drink, and head to bed?
I want to steal one of Sudz's pans.
Why?
I'm just planning for when I'm free enough in order to make the filling for the pie that I'm going to make.
Oh.
He offers to make it for you, seeing as he is proficient in cooking utensils. If you wish to do it, he can help, but he's not just going to give you his pan.
It's kind of a dwarven thing. I'd have to be involved. If you could help, that would be nice. But it's important.
He'd be fine to help, and he's okay with that. He's just not going to just give you his.
Yeah. Oh. What?
I mean, that just feels rude. It's a pan, man.
No.
But all right.
Yeah, it's also like if he asked you for your specific smith tools.
It's not like we have other pans. Do we have other pans?
No, he's the
No.
only one with cook's
Then we
utensils.
don't have other pans.
Sasha, chill. They're like me at the gates. And that was not a good place to be mentally for me. And it would almost got us killed, or got this town killed. And quite frankly, now that I know there's was a wedding on here, I would have felt bad afterwards. Someone had done it.
Kills one of the
Right.
newlyweds, suddenly creates archvillain for campaign 2. Perfect.
Don't
No, no.
worry.
Oh,
Remember,
please,
we
Claire,
always
we're more thorough than that.
Yeah.
Give us some
we
credit.
wouldn't let anyone. We wouldn't let there be any possibility of a revenge plot. We kill everyone.
Witnesses? Ha! There are no witnesses. They're all dead.
Not like in Skyrim, it's going to notify you when there are no witnesses anymore.
I know
Actually, it
that.
might do.
But I will go about and find every life form around and kill it. Anything with a brain nearby will be murdered. They're
Including
commoners,
puppies.
Chris. Especially the puppies.
Oh god, no, not the
Well.
puppies.
Excuse me while I change my neutral back to evil.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh no, shit! I haven't actually changed that. I'm still lawful evil.
Alright,
I think I need to be neutral evil thinking about it.
you get your sleep, your rest. You wake up the next morning. As previously discussed,
I'm gonna wake for 4 hours.
you leave town, making your way out the eastern gate, unless there's anything else you wish to do.
No.
No.
Well, I'll pick up some flour for the pie, but other than that,
Okay.
Sasha.
Cost you a silver.
flour and butter, blah blah, all of the pie ingredients.
Okay. Cost you a silver for the flour. For contained butter, you're going to need to keep it chilled. You don't have anywhere to really store cold stuff, so it'll just melt.
It's fine.
In the
bag. I'm just gonna have Elsyan cast one of his frosty beams on it.
That won't work. You'd need to do that for the entire duration.
Well, you know, the thing about butter is it retains its shape remarkably well as long as you don't heat it up. You just need to keep it.
Elsyan's gonna do fire. Gonna do a fire energy beam.
Okay.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Okay. So we'll say you spent a gold on the butter as Elsyan melts the butter.
Melts it.
Elsyan melts the butter, then places a gold into Sasha's hand where the butter was.
Into the
buttery
melted
and
butter.
greasy.
Into the melted butter. I am not here to keep your food cool. Am I clear, Sasha?
You are going to cool my butter, or I will punch your balls once more, and this time, neither of them will survive.
Elsyan
Now
shifted
get to
slightly.
work.
Butter bitch.
You buttery.
So are you going to go get more butter, or because it won't last?
Yeah, look, I'm getting the butter, and I'm intending to have this get this done literally the next time we stop.
Okay.
So it should, and
I mean,
what?
Yeah, as long as it's not ridiculously warm here, we should be fine.
You're in the reaches of tropical territory, so you are getting to warm
Okay,
areas.
can I I'm going to cast protection from energy on the butter.
What the hell?
All right, are you happy now,
How long does
Chris?
protection from energy last, Harlan?
It lasts for an hour.
Yeah, that's not going to fly because you're going to be flying after this. So
I can keep casting
okay,
it.
you have a choice here. You can either spend 10 days traveling, so you can cast protection from energy on this block of butter, or you can fly, but you have to sacrifice the butter in the process.
Now, guys, I know that the sensible answer is obviously sacrificing the butter, but I too like the chaos of doing stuff just to protect a block of butter.
Deep down, I kind of agree. It's like
This is not going the way Chris expected.
I like the idea that we have
Or it
literally
is.
just become the butter brigade. You know, we could get there in for a couple of days.
No.
What if after we get to our destination, I cast Revivify on the butter?
The
Now,
butter wouldn't have been
Is
dead.
it so-
You-
solution to this problem is to just buy some butter when we get there.
Why do you have to add
Oh,
logic to
Sasha!
this?
Not Sasha. Oh, Bern! Stop it!
Just
Malcolm's going to
no.
add
You
more
know what?
logic
You know
to
what?
this.
It's great. I've got an idea. What I'll do is I'll keep the butter in a cup, and then when I need it, I'll just use Fabricate to turn the butter liquid into the butter solid.
I would like to point out that you cannot remix curd and whatever the
Yeah,
other
but
one
butter
is.
doesn't necessarily separate that way. That's already happened,
yeah.
Chris.
That's true.
The curds and whey have already split. Help that I believe butter is made from the curd,
Yeah.
so that's already happened. That's not an excuse.
Alternatively,
And-
as Malcolm says, you could just make the pie now.
All right, I'll make the fucking pie now. I intended to make the pie now. I said as soon as we were able.
You haven't left yet.
You said as soon as we stopped.
So we've
I said
stopped right at the
You've
door.
stopped
Elsyan's
right
It's
at
like
the
getting
gate
you got to the
his
gate.
coat back.
Elsyan's about to get his coat and umbrella back, and they take it away as they see you making a fucking pie.
I'm making a fucking pie.
I like to
Okay.
think he's sitting straight in the middle of the doorway as well. The most inconvenient place.
Okay. You do not have a cook's station. Are you intending to set up a bonfire or a fire pit to do this?
Quick fireball.
Absolutely, if
Okay.
required.
As you're As you're standing at the gate, Elsyan, you've got your stuff back.
Excellent.
You receive your cloak. Your cloak has been debladed, except for the super secret hidden ones, which they didn't spot.
Hi, or no.
You also don't know they exist though, because they were the ones which she told you that there were some super secret ones you might find later. Your passive investigation's not high enough to find them on their own.
Okay, Chris, what sort of passive perception do I need to be able to see? This is already a 27.
30.
Wow.
You're just
Holy
being
crap.
pedantic now, Chris.
It's that or he has no blades. It's his choice.
Actually, to be fair, I have 23 in passive perception. I overestimated it. But passive investigation, that's stupid. That's 25.
This is just passive, right?
Yeah.
Passive.
Yeah.
If he went looking for them, then it would be a different story. But passive.
Elsyan believes that all the knives are gone, and he's upset about it, and they have stolen something from Elsyan, and Elsyan will cause death upon this town one day.
On the other
He
hand,
didn't-
they hand you back your cane with the umbrella.
I check the blade.
As you go to pull it out, it has been glued shut. You can see the glue.
Elsyan, can I hold that for a second?
No.
Elsyan, I'm trying to help.
It's fine, Sasha. I'm a very calm person when it comes to the act of murder.
Oh, just looks at the
I mean,
guys.
do you just want me to break the glue for you?
I can do that myself. What do you think I am, 12 years old?
Well, there's a chance.
And by the way, I'm talking 12 years old in elf years, which is like...
Toddler.
2.
30!
Try and
Wait,
break
wait.
it then. I want to see Elsyan.
No. I'm gonna turn to the guard there. I presume it isn't the same guard I met last night.
No.
Who did this?
I don't know. Why is it not supposed to be that way?
No. You have glued a scabbard shut.
Oh. He puts his hand out to take the umbrella back. The umbrella?
I want this glue gone. The guard shall do it, and if it's damaged, I shall bill your boss.
He looks at you. Do you give him the umbrella?
I give him the umbrella.
Okay. He goes. Or he turns to the guard next to him and he says, "Hold this head." And they're both going to make strength checks to
no.
pull it apart.
Be careful. Elsyan's eyes open up and say, seriously, don't cut yourselves. That's on me.
Okay. That, between the two of them, that is a 12 and a 4.
Well,
Watch as they
the good
tug
news is
and
won't
they
break.
pull. I make one roll of integrity for the glue. The glue holds. As they're going to attempt to do so again. Okay.
Okay, I get them not wanting me to have the blade, but if I'm out of town and I've got the blade, I can't hurt.
You watch as they pull and you hear as they're pulling, they're like, "Come on, almost there."
No. No, stop it.
As they pull, you hear, and you watch as the blade is pulled from the scabbard. As this happens, you see your blade. It's fine. You see your umbrella. It's fine. But the bits of wood around the edge of the umbrella bit, that is the scabbard, are a bit, torn up, because the glue has taken some with it. There you go. Good as new. He puts it back in the umbrella and hands it back. Before he does so, he gives it a quick tug. Yep, comes apart.
Elsyan has stood there, eyes shut, first finger and thumb together. And he's at that stage where he's about to ask for someone's manager.
Oh no.
I have
Elsyan's hair with telekinesis forms a beehive haircut.
Alright, Karen.
And then he lets out a deep breath.
That's just all like say Winston.
You did your best. I really hope there are better guards than you in this town. Otherwise, it's fucked. Especially when there's so many dead orphans. And Elsyan turns around and just starts walking down the road, not caring there's a pie being cooked.
I just remember this.
Okay.
How
The
does
guards
my
look at
pride go,
look
by the
at
way?
him, or look at you, and then look at the rest of the party.
Or is it?
They just both shrug.
Yeah, I thought that's what they would do.
They both go back to guard. Both go back to guard duty and otherwise wait. As Elsyan, you continue wandering down the road. There's a moment you realise, wait a minute, my party's making a pie, and you turn back and you look back about, I don't know, 600 feet, and you see a small pillar of smoke rising as they've set up a small.
See, no, I wouldn't have walked down that far. I would have walked down a bit to just be away from the guards before I
And then
did something
turn around.
stupid.
Okay.
And just turn around and wait. Like, I found a rock to lean on, a tree or something.
Okay. There are no trees in the area. There's only rocks, and in turn, you don't have anything good for kindling. So is there anything you want to burn to create a small fire?
My fucking umbrella. No, no.
Works so hard to get it fixed, throws it in the fire in front of the guards.
I mean, I'm perfectly happy to use heat metal for cooking, because that's just hilarious.
Okay.
It's-
How long's the concentration on that? A minute?
10 minutes. Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Got it written in as that. I'll double check.
Up for concentration up to a minute.
Up to what?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Huh, I must have gotten written in at some point wrong.
Right, so the process of making a pie takes about 30 minutes. Do you have 30 spell slots you can burn?
If I said yes, would you believe me?
No, because
No.
I know you don't. Because I did the math before this kind of thing.
The maths, Chris, that's multiple, it's maths.
No, because I only took one equation, so it's only math.
Oh, no, you used multiple numbers, therefore it's maths.
You did one math, guys. Come
I
on.
did one math. Come on.
Okay.
One time
what
I
are the
did a
chances
math.
of turning all of the
Simon did a
constituent
math at one
ingredients?
point, and now he's got a degree.
What's the
Possibly.
chance of what?
What are the
Not
chances of me
technically, yeah.
using fabricate
yet.
to turn all of the constituent ingredients into a pie?
I mean, they wouldn't be cooked.
Chris, just let him make a pie for fuck's sake so we can move on.
Would an ethereal fire work?
Hmm?
With an ether firework.
Yes! Fuck it, go for
Use
it.
fireball.
Yeah.
Use fireball. It'd be
Okay.
fine.
I'll just drop some brimstone down and then light it up.
Okay, dropping some brimstone down. It takes 25 GP of brimstone. Dropping it down, you light an
Worth it.
ether fire. As Calcifer takes the pan and the ingredients and just shoves them in his mouth.
Oh god, Malcolm's gonna be upset.
Moments later, you watch as he pulls the pan out in pristine shape with a pre-made pie on it. And you watch as he begins to hold it up in the air, almost doing like the little dance they do as he proceeds to cook it. This takes the better part of 35 minutes before a very burnt pie is given to you, as Calcifer's natural d20 roll on this was in fact a 2.
Could I give him advantage by looking over my pie baby?
Use your divine intervention if you want.
You joke, I'm gonna do it!
Do it!
If it succeeds,
If it succeeds, it's gone for a week, so keep that in mind.
You think I care?
It.
This is my birthday pie.
Yeah.
It's important.
Okay, the difference will be burnt or not burnt if you succeed.
Nope.
You
Should
fail.
have never come to this fucking town. We've just flown
No,
by.
we shouldn't have done. We should have just went, we're just gonna walk around it. Give the guards evils as we walk past, and then just walked through the night. We weren't suffering exhaustion. We weren't struggling.
I am going to eat my pie.
Okay, it is burnt. It still has good flavour though. It's also been cooked in a forge fire, meant for heating metal and melting it. It's quite bland. It's very sooty. Just how
Luckily,
you remember
I
it as a
got
dwarf.
honey.
Gonna put honey on a fruit pie?
Yes. What? I don't say that like that sounds weird. Honey is a sweet thing. Fruit pie is a sweet thing.
Not when it tastes like soot.
That's only the outside. I'll tear off what I have to. I am enjoying my birthday pie because fuck you and fuck everyone. And I'm having a little moment to Sasha's self.
Okay. You finish the pie. Malcom casts Windwalk. As over the next 2 days, with a little bit of struggle trying to keep the direwolf and the salamander in check, you fly yourselves from Numperbud to Tower Keen, I believe was your plan.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
I think that was the plan, yeah.
On the second day, as you begin to approach in the early hours of the morning, as your farts on the wind, you see before you a garrison of stone wrapping around the edge of this mountainside. You see a large door embedded into the mountainside itself, with several towers otherwise protruding from the rock itself, with large ballistae that are on the top, with what looks to be crystal ends to them.
Elsyan, I recommend you don't fight the guards here.
The wall itself is also imbued with what looks to be a series of large crystals placed in the wall themselves, giving off a very strong magical resonation. You see a single way into town other than flying over. You see a large set of double gates which are currently open and manned with about 15 guards.
Don't fight with these guys.
With a view from above, you can see the town. The town itself is relatively small. It wasn't built to house populations. It seems that it used to be a mining town, and now it has been since upgraded into a fairly standard garrison. Looking in, you can see what looks to be old tin roofs, the kind of heavy stone masonry work, and a number of individuals moving around, but not many civilians.
Like we might have to explain what we're here to do.
Before we do that, Elsyan, what does your shard sense say?
Shard sense.
Where are you transforming first, as you can't do this as a cloud?
Right, yeah. Right. In front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like a bit outside.
Okay. So you're...
like 100 foot maybe.
The fart clouds land 100 foot outside of the town, each of you transforming slowly but surely, taking that minute before each of you land on the ground. A little bit more adept at using the spell this time. You land, and Elsyan, you concentrate for a minute. The guards seem to have noticed the strange clouds turning into people, but they don't seem to have done anything about it just yet.
What? You never seen a wind walk before?
We have until a little bit ago.
With your shard sense, Elsyan,
I had a life before you. You don't know.
you stand there and you concentrate for that moment, and you feel the shard, but then you feel a block to it. You are very close to it. But beyond that door, somewhere, the shard lies within.
Is that the door in the mountain or
That's
the
the door in the
city?
mountain, yes.
Yep.
Oh, flipping great.
Okay. You.
Do we know anything about this town?
Yes, as mentioned earlier, it used to be a crystal mine that that mined basic crystals. Some of it was worth keeping and using for enchanting. The rest of it was thrown away.
Oh wait, I'm in the wrong campaign. God damn it! I was about to say if it's seeking territory.
No, it's not. Campaign's been dead for months.
Does Strahd live here, Chris?
Yes, he does. Except in this, he wears a speedo and,
Actively goes by the name Wet Bitch.
yeah, actively goes by the name Wet Bitch and carries around a frog on a stick.
Nice.
polymorph wand.
I feel
But it
like
has
this
infinite
party could
charges.
probably take Strahd.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What was that, Simon?
I feel like this party could probably take Strahd.
A level 10 party of 4 people's meant to take him. 6 level
Yeah.
13 party members could probably take him fairly easily.
Yeah, like Strahd walks up, we just step out and just like, oh, you're coming closer to us. We're going to murder you. Don't even let him finish the other line.
Just looks at Elsyan's umbrella sword. But nope, that's it.
Okay,
Elsyan,
yeah,
mind
okay. I
crushed.
want to make this very clear what all this fuss has been about. The umbrella sword is simply just a 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage. It's a
Not even
finesse.
magical.
It's not even magic. It's just a sword and an umbrella. That's why one thing I'm so miffed. No, not miffed. I'm fucking livid that they took the sword from me because it is just a sword inside an umbrella.
I find it funny. It's like they took your umbrella sword. Yet I've got a battle axe.
Yeah, you've got a battle axe, and I'm here just like, I don't
Yeah.
even use these. I forget I have all of this stuff. I have brain bullets. Because I didn't tell
There
them
is a
that.
part of me that wishes we had just killed those guards.
Yeah, there's also part of me that realised that I don't want to murder a lot of people in some town.
I have to
The party
agree.
members were warned there.
What if we just knocked them unconscious, huh?
Well, it
What
would
if I
definitely be
go
some
to
June
your
damage.
hometown, Sasha, and I burn it the fuck down like a dragon?
Okay, right, I have to
Oh,
stop you there.
I was about to say, too fucking late.
A dragon beat you to it there, Bern.
I fucking go do it again.
Is this in character or out of character, by the way?
Okay, right. I'm Bern. If you're willing to do that, could you do that to the other kingdoms instead? Be easy to take it over afterwards.
And I wouldn't recommend doing it around my area. That'll end
Your wife
badly.
scares it all.
I mean, if you want to fight Malcolm's aunt, you're welcome to it.
I think the only person that could stand for is probably Sasha at that point.
That's a fight I want to see. Rook's wife and Malcolm's.
Aunt.
Yeah.
Malcolm's aunt would win hands down.
100%.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. I'm the TM.
No.
Yay! Malcolm's aunt can roll consecutive nat ones.
Not when
Jim?
she's a 9th level druid, or the druid that can cast the 9th level spell, Foresight, which gives you advantage on everything.
Could steal 2 ones.
Yes, many times in a row. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what are you doing?
I feel like we need to explain to the guards why we're here.
Also, how to get access through that door. I mean,
That sounds more echoey.
I don't imagine we could just walk up to it and walk in. I mean, it's shut.
Okay, well, no, we absolutely could just open the fucking door because we are badasses. But we probably should talk to the guards about getting an actual pass in.
Yeah.
I think we
And
should
what
probably
then?
talk to some sort of like city official, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell the guards that we have some business in the area.
Yeah.
We dropped
And
the
then
fight
talk
for
to
the
someone
Dawn Seekers.
inside.
Apparently that means a thing now.
That's probably not a
Yeah.
bad shout. We need,
I just think it's probably not a good idea to open on the gates with "Hey, we're here to open the big cursed door." That's probably not the best move.
we need to
Say
talk
that,
to
Queglod, but you've got to open with a real zinger. You can't come into these things half cocked.
That's so echoey.
That's why we'll go up and demand to speak with their leader. And by
Oh.
we, I mean not me. No.
I
Okay,
think we
like
should-
forcefully ask. How does that sound? We've got to be very adamant that we will not take no for an answer, but it is still a request that they cannot say no to, or we'll burn this place down.
I think Queglod should do the
That
talking.
really
She's
is your
less tactful.
one
Their wife.
thing, isn't it?
Your
right
Vulcan
now-
is showing, Sam.
I know, Chris. I'm
Because you
aware.
don't do fire damage other than your energy beam.
Fine. I will make this place crumble to itty bitty little pieces with brain.
With brain.
With
Just
brain.
brain. It's a giant brain. Breaks it.
Oak, use brain to break town. Oak,
Right, no,
smash!
actually, to be quite fair, all my powers, it wouldn't damage any of like the structures here.
No.
I would
Jack
I will
ought to.
make this. I would turn this place into a ghost town.
Then Queglod will kill you.
Okay. No. She wouldn't kill me for murdering a load of people. She'd kill me for trying to resurrect them. Right, Queglod? Remember what you're agreeing to here. If you agree with me, I can murder people and you won't murder me.
What did you do?
I mean, there are contexts in which Queglod would probably let you get away with murdering people.
That's all I needed to hear.
Because I
This is a
felt
school
like it
shooting.
probably isn't one of them.
Okay. Well, Queglod, you were part of that school shooting as well as Elsyan was.
Okay, Sam. Please stop the chat.
That's still
Yeah,
me.
they were necromancers though.
That's a fair shout given who Queglod is.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Her, that. Yeah.
Her, yeah.
Them. It.
It turns out they did have permits, so. Oops. but-
Okay, right. They're still resurrecting the dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally your entire thing is like, the Graven Queen is not a fucking fan of necromancer.
It's
Yeah, I'm aware. There's a pact. It's
I feel like you can be forgiven somewhat.
yeah.
You have a cooling higher than the law.
alright,
No, I
Judge
mean-
Dredd. Alright.
No, Judge Dredd distinctly
Yeah, no.
the higher calling is law, no matter what happens.
Alright, so what are you doing? You're the ones who were telling me not to mess around and we're getting close to stop time. What you doing?
Crying.
I think we should let Queglod talk. Like
Yes,
grown
let's
up.
go up to these guards, inform them why we are here to some degree, and say we need to talk to their higher up.
Okay. You approach the guards, moving along the dirt road towards the gate. You see that the number of guards are otherwise armed with what looked to be a lot better gear than the previous militia you were looking at. From just a general read, there are some of them that are equipped with magical gear.
You might not be able to
How
take
many of them do you think we could take?
I mean,
all of them.
you want to make an insight check?
Yeah, fuck it, sure.
Rolls a nat 20. Like half. Half of one.
Hey,
No.
Elsie, you want to help me out here?
No. I'm eating Doritos and
All right, 28.
half cream.
28.
Leave me.
You could, as a party, you could probably take on these 15 here. Any further than that, depending on how many they are and how many outnumber you at that instant, you probably wouldn't be able to last. You've
Okay.
seen the ballistae that are on the top of those towers. You don't know what they're capable of. The only thing which is of note is that they're not of typical ballista make, meaning that they
Oh no.
don't know what kind of magic they're imbued with.
So, Chris, what you're telling me is there's a chance.
There's always a chance. There's a chance you could beat Rengar and Avad at level 1 if you roll consecutive 20s and he rolls consecutive 1s, but we both know that that's not really going to happen.
Horrible echo.
Now, you know what I say, 2% isn't as low as you'd think.
2%, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, 5%.
Oh, it'd be 5%.
Well, because
That would be what, that would,
A1 or
that would be
A20.
A1 and A20, which would be
okay.
5% of 5% at that point. So,
I know what my fucking hell.
Well, okay, but
it's
that's
been a long
not
day.
exactly how it works, because there's also the taking account like the...
Right, we can we stop discussing probability because my brain starts to hurt after the coin flip.
Okay, fine.
50-50, but it's not actually 50-50.
anyway.
Sam, you're in a room in a game show. There's 3 doors in front of you.
Fuck off!
I know the answer to
Yes,
this one.
change doors.
Oh,
Although fundamentally nothing does change, but I understand mathematically it should.
Yeah.
But you know what?
do you mean nothing
Sometimes,
changes?
and Simon, I'm sorry to say this, but sometimes maths is wrong.
Fun fact: this is a bit of a misunderstanding a lot of people have. That's actually not correct.
Sam, you just don't want me to invalidate the last 4 years of your life, do you?
Maths can never be wrong. Anyway, you are approaching the guards.
God.
So back to math.
Elsyan takes 100
Maths
points of
can be
psychic
wrong, but
damage
everyone
and
accepts that
dies.
it's
What do
right.
you do?
Kick
Oh,
him.
please, I'm unconscious, not dead.
Alright, 1,000. I'll add an extra 0 onto that. What's the probability of that, Sam? Alright, what are you doing?
Queglod, go talk to them. You're the adult here.
We've arrived at the door.
You're approaching the door, yeah, you see the guards ahead.
Okay, they haven't called out at all.
No, they haven't called out at all, but they are brandishing their weapons.
Okay, is the door open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charge.
By brandishing, you mean they're holding them? Or
They're,
like,
they're
pointing
holding them, and they look like they're preparing to point them.
Everybody, hands up.
Okay, I'm just gonna call out. Excuse me, are we free to enter?
You watch as a, what looks to be an orange tiefling individual moves forward. Depends on what you're trying to enter to do.
We're searching for something in the nearby area. We'd like to speak to some people inside the town about it.
What kind of things you're looking for? There's not much in these lands.
Metal Gear sound effect.
We believe there might be a magical relic. We're not certain exactly how close by it is. We'd just like to talk to people, find out if there's any leads.
That's how I did it, right?
He looks over all of you. You've come far for this. You wouldn't be outsourced for out of town to do this sort of thing. And you watch as he looks over to the rest of them. He's like, lower your weapons. Follow me. The rest of you keep watch. There's nobody in until I've returned. And he gestures for you to follow him.
Is it just Queglod or the whole of us?
All of you.
Okay. Head on in.
As you head on in, he kind of continues walking, goes, so, what exactly is the nature of this relic?
It's, yeah, perhaps.
Let
sounds
me explain.
that.
This is just asking so I know who I'm talking to. Are you the person in charge here, at least in charge of security?
I'm in charge of the gate, not in charge of the whole facility. That'll be the general.
I'm guessing we're not going to be able to talk to the general, are we?
I'm taking you to him now, but if you can tell me things along the way, it'll make things easier. He's probably
Okay.
already watching.
Well, there's a number of items that have what we've come to term as shards inside of them. These shards are a being that I am, let's call it, in communication with. I think it's inside me. These shards are parts of it. I believe that this can help us in our quite simple goal of just making sure everything goes swimming. No, Elsyan doesn't say that. That's crap. This is just to help us mostly. Also, it will help us in dealing with some incidents that happened in Adamantia.
We're the Dawn Seekers, just in case you've heard of us.
If you haven't heard of us, please fully understand.
No, I have. I
Oh,
know.
shit.
I've got all your names listed down in the office.
Oh, wonderful.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, well, you see, because we're a garrison, we know quite a lot of the adventurers that pass through here. As well as ones who haven't from across the Empire. This is one of the more secure
That makes some
places.
sense.
The general likes to keep in touch with everything.
What is the
knows-
general's name, may I ask?
George.
George. Oh. Sam is taken aback by the normal name.
Okay, I'm not saying this in game. No, I'm not saying this out loud in game at all. But it through my mind does go, George is the general. Watch out for that treant.
Oh no! Yeah, suddenly sprouts loads of trees. Roll for initiative, bitches. Alright. Well, seems fairly simple enough. Yeah, but no, I know who all of you are. Can't say I know all your names, but I don't. I kind of recognize your faces somewhat. I know roughly who's who, but I'd need a list of names to know who's who.
My name is Elsyan.
Alright.
Sasha.
I'd be Rook.
Alright.
Queglod.
Cool. So
Malcolm.
that leaves, let's see, Malcom and Bern. I'm gonna guess. Malcolm's spelled wrong as well. Barrenlor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Looks at
It's really it makes
looks at Malcolm. So you're Malcolm
really
and you're Bern. I'm taking it. Right? No.
Yes.
Yes,
Alright,
yes,
good.
yes.
Cool. Alright, well, if you're looking for a relic, we might have seen it, but if it's in this area, probably not.
It's. I must also make it clear that it's not the relic itself. It can be something that's within inside it. For example, I found one which was known as the Acrian Orb. The orb itself was useless, but the shard of the being within was definitely there.
Fair enough.
Just so if it's anything vital to the running of this place, it shouldn't be an issue. And if it is, I obviously won't
It
take
did
it.
make the Acrian Orb nullified of all magic when you did take it. Just clarifying.
Yes, but to be fair,
Elsyan
the Acron Orb was pretty shit.
Wasn't he? Just never used it.
No. The thing is, the first thing I did with the Acrian Orb, the shard out, I didn't really have a chance to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I could have mind controlled a load of people, but
You can do that anyway.
actually I can't. My disciplines don't let me.
He kind of go, alright, well, of course that's fine, but as I said, there's not really much around here, so let's see what there is. He takes you to what looks to be one of the largest central towers in there, and as you climb it, he passes by another individual of what looks to be a similar kind of similar armor to him, half plate mostly. Seems to have a number of 3 ribbons, whereas this individual only has 2. That kind of hang off of the link between the leather strap and the metal pauldron, and goes, "What are you doing, bringing these individuals up, the general? Is there a matter at hand that needs to be dealt with?" Yes, these individuals, they're looking for a relic. They're the Dawn Seekers. They're on our board at the top. They wanted to speak with the general to get the general lay of the land. I can help with that if need be. Is there anything that you're looking for?
I mean, this person feels shady as hell. Like, am I wrong in that, or?
He's not the most comfortable to be around, correct, but he's not necessarily shady.
I mean, do we ask him outright if we can have access to that doorway?
Can't hurt to ask.
Well, we believe that the relic potentially could be in the doorway to the north. And we
Through the
were
doorway.
Through the doorway. You do not ask this lightly.
He looks at the other individual and goes, "Didn't mention that to me, but that means the general's call, not yours." "I know."
We did forget to. Yes, apologies. We did forget to mention that.
"No, that's fine. Again, that'll be the general's call, not mine, but I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed to go through the door."
Yay!
We're just aware that there are places in this, just in the Empire alone, that people really shouldn't be.
Yeah, and the door's one of them. We've sent in platoons in the past, but none of them have come back.
We are not normal soldiers.
We are not.
I can guess that, seeing as your name's gotten around as good adventurers, but just beware, going in there, it's dangerous. We were attacked by several things while originally trying to make the passageway.
Such as?
If I remember correctly what it was, the crystals themselves attacked us. And there was this strange rumbling, and several individuals went missing at once. almost as if the ground ate them.
Well, that is a
Couldn't be
problem.
worse than Oromance for Vane.
No.
True.
Yeah, it's true. Well, okay, it could be, but it's very unlikely.
I mean, I suppose the ravine itself wasn't trying to attack us.
You
Only everything in it.
you look as the individual who you're walking with just goes, "You've been into Ornaments Ravine."
And come out
Yeah.
alive.
Well,
We actually found what we wanted in there as well.
you know what? They might actually be able to do it. I think the general has got a good chance with this lot. I mean, we're not losing anything if they go in on their own, right?
That is true.
We don't have any of your gear. We don't have. It's not like you are responsible for us. And if
No.
we die, we die.
Yeah, see what the general says.
Just another corpse in the doorway.
Am I right to go forward? You watch as the individual kind of looks at you all, guys. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Go and speak to the general. Did you want me to man the door while you're busy? If you would. You wander up, continuing on your way, the other individual kind of moving down the stairs and away from you all. As you reach the door, as he enters, you see 2 guards posted on the outside. As the door is opened, you hear an individual from the inside go, "What is it this time, Kirk?" It's not Kirk, sir. We've got the Dawn Seekers. They've come to speak to you. Oh, great, another adventuring party come to retribute the land. Come in.
I
As
think
you-
he doesn't like it.
Fun.
As you enter the room, you see General George, currently sat there on in his chair. You see a relatively tall human, lightly tanned skin. His features otherwise include mostly scars or wounds of some kind, as well as an attempt at a beard, which has otherwise been ruined by some recent battles of some sort. As he otherwise just finishes rubbing his face, just of like frustration or tiredness. Oh, so you're the Dawn Seekers. Yes, I recognize all of you. Great. So what have you come here for?
Put simply, there's a relic that we're searching for, and we think it's behind the door.
The north
Captain?
of the city.
It's basically the gist of it, yes. They're wanting to go in and try and find whatever it is. I told them it shouldn't be much skin off our back, seeing as we don't lose much. But obviously it's your call, sir. You know what? He stands up from his desk and just wanders over to you all. It's been a day. Go ahead. You need any supplies? Head down to the warehouse. See what Hemingway and Gale can give you. You have to pay usual stuff. They don't sell anything magical. They sell potions and bits of gear here and there. If you're looking to get any aid, you can pay the guards yourself. But otherwise, you're on your own. You're heading into the door. Just ask the jail keeper at the door if you can go in. Say that the general said you can. If they need extra confirmation, just ask. Actually, you know what? I'll just let them know. He goes over and pats Sasha on the head. Just with his entire hand, like rubs his eyes. I'm going to bed. You, Captain, just tell Kirk he's in charge for now. They can go through the door. Let him. And the captain just kind of looks miffed and confused as the general just walks out of the room.
Well, that was.
Easy.
Did anyone think that was too easy?
I guess you can go through. Okay.
Sorry, is something happening here? Because he seemed very tired.
Yes. The reason I was a little bit hesitated and why we were well regarded is things attacked the Great Door last night.
What?
Wait, from the other side?
From the other side. They don't usually do that, but they did.
Oh,
Something's
okay.
trying
We do
to
pick our
get
timing,
out.
don't we? Well, we
They
might be able
always-
to deal with that for you.
They always do. Giant spider-like things.
Oh, what? What? Hang on. What? What?
Rook. Deep breaths.
Giant spider
Okay.
like things. They don't. Not sure if they're actually spiders, but giant spider-like things. They attacked the door. About, I'd say, 3 dozens of them.
When we say giant spiders, do we mean like a giant spider or do we mean like a colossal spider? 'Cause, like that, there's been some confusion in the past.
I'm talking. Yeah. He looks at
If you had to
Rook.
put them in 5 foot by 5 foot squares.
If we could put them in 5 by 5 foot squares, they'd be about 10 foot wide, ish.
Yes, I'm aware, Bern. I know.
Yeah.
Spiders!
Chill.
Given
Chill.
given that you got a look at them, does that mean they got through the door, or
They
is there an
tried.
advance guard inside?
There's a garrison on the other side of the door itself. We're well protected. We have walls, we have ballistae, we have spears and all that we need, as well as lighting. That allows us to see the damn things. And yeah,
Was that
we were
all
attacked
lapis
last night, and the
crescendo?
general had to get involved because they broke through our first line of defense.
I am going to splat every single one of them spiders.
Oh, please do.
And you killed them or merely drove them off?
Bit of both.
I'm just trying to get a sense of how.
Killed most of them, drove off
strong
the
they are.
rest. That's about it.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, I'll lead you down to the warehouse. You can speak to the individuals there. I'll let Kirk know he's in charge. Let the general get his rest. Try not to die in there. Don't want the general having anything more on his conscience after the attack. That's really all I can say.
We will try our hardest not to.
Alright.
And sure as hell gonna fight and kill everything in there that comes across.
Oh, please do. Anyway,
Just spiders.
as the party is led down from the tower to the central warehouse, the party looks upon the great door. The intricate carvings of the blue and black steel otherwise marking across the surface of it of the various crystal-like design, with the ballistas being manned and the guards here on very high alert. The party comes to a close for the time being, and that is where we will end our session for tonight. So, thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next week when they enter into the Crystal Caverns. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.